up, everybody? Merry Draftmas to you. It is time. It is round one of the NFL draft. Thankfully, we have arrived, and the future of the Green Bay Packers officially begins to take shape tonight. So I am Jon. This is Claudia, my partner in life and partner in pod. We are here hanging out at Lombardi Time Brews for the draft party. We also have with us tonight Wisco Fanatics. So down in that corner, that's Tyler. Over here, we got Jake. And then up there, we got Brian. We're all going to be hanging out tonight. I think we might have one more joining us up in that corner yet, too.
Brennan's on the way.
Awesome. So
we
are here tonight to guide you through round one of the NFL draft, talking about every pick, how it impacts the Packers, answering comments, questions, and then because, let's be real, we got 3 hours to kill until the Packers pick alone. Whatever the heck comes up is what we're going to be discussing. So looking forward to a really, really fun night. Been looking forward to this for a very long time. So Tyler, Jake, Brian, any of you guys want to say anything?
Yeah, we got 3 hours till the Packers trade down.
It has happened before.
Goody was talking about, wanting 14 picks here. The only way we're going to get really anything of value would be if we trade. I was thinking if they trade down from first and get another second and a third somehow, if they're able to do that, you'd have to probably trade down pretty far into the second. I would be okay with that. I'd be fine with that. But if we're doing this thing where we're getting a bunch of fourth and fifth round picks, then I'll probably be like, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I've kind of been of the opinion lately. I mean, a trade down is definitely possible in this draft, but I don't know. I could see Goody just falling in love. And so in my last mock that I published, I talked about I wouldn't be shocked if they actually jump up a few spots in round one and then use one of their round twos to fall back a little bit in two and recoup some potential early day three value. That kind of structure would not shock me at all tonight.
Yeah, my bold prediction was that we make 2 first-round picks and no second-round picks. So we'll see what happens.
It would be interesting to see them. If Packers were to say trade down today, then when we go live tomorrow, then we just have 6 picks to talk about tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll be talking about a pick every 15 minutes.
and watching the Bucs game at the same time. So
exactly.
Yeah. It would be a hectic day tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, tomorrow's already jammed for 4 picks on night 2.
Yeah.
That's crazy, especially compared to last year.
I love the depth in the second and third round, to be honest. There's a lot of good players right in that round. I was just thinking about this week, obviously getting ready. I was like, how sick would it be if you left the second day with Jaden, the safety out of Washington State, Austin Booker, Christian Haynes, and then one other player or something like that. That'd be disgustingly good. So maybe Alex Morgan if we trade back and take that 33rd pick, like some people were saying, or something like
Jordan
that.
Morgan.
Alex Morgan. Sorry, I'm getting my names all mixed up. I got to pull up my notes here.
Sorry, there's only 300 names to keep track of.
Yeah, we've only gone through 400 people.
Right. Yeah. All right, so let's dive into the comments here. Hello to everyone who's already here. If you want to start reading them off.
All right, so we got Greg Schultz saying, I'm ready. Hopefully the Pack will move up a couple of spots and take OT, ILB, and a safety or corner. Go Pack, go.
We're kindred brothers, Greg.
Thomas saying, subbed a year ago on draft night and I've enjoyed the last years of videos. Thank you guys and keep it up.
Thanks, Thomas.
Also, round 7, a conversation needs to be had about long snappers. You shrugged it off last year, and I recall some struggles this past season.
Thomas, look.
Damn.
I don't care. Okay, I remember because I was honestly thinking about you last night. I knew you were going to be here, Thomas, and I was like, he's going to bring up long snapper. I know he is. No, I still don't care. I am not. Once we get to round 7, I am not going to conduct a long snapper review for you. I'm sorry. The Packers will just continue to struggle.
That sounds like the most boring Monday thing to do.
When we did our mock, one of our mocks, we drafted the punter from Iowa in the 6th round. So
yeah. Troy Taylor. Yeah.
I posted that on my mock, and people are like, a punter? Really?
Hey, man, Dan Whelan, the Irishman, he did all right this year. If anything, choose another kicker and hope for the best.
Yeah, Thomas, I think you're right on that one. I was saying if Terrion Arnold falls to 16 or 17, I just don't know that he gets past the Colts. But if he falls like 16 or 17, I think it'd be awesome to see us jump up for him. Or maybe like Fuaga, or, one of them that you kind of expect to be maybe gone by that point. But if they love him, jump up and grab him.
Yeah, for sure.
Tom's also saying, I think if they jump up, it has to be for a cornerback or offensive tackle that's failing unexpectedly.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Makes sense.
I don't love drafting a corner in the first round, guys. I really don't. I mean, think about the Packers' history. I mean, think about this. The last time the Packers drafted 25th overall was a corner in 2004, Ahmad Carroll, right? Yeah. I know everybody saw that tweet going around everywhere. Yeah. And you got to think about the Demarius Randalls of the world. I mean, Kevin King was technically not a first rounder, but he was our first pick. I mean, think about the history of corners that we've taken with our first pick, and it's just not great, really, outside of Jair. So I don't love it. I would rather go offensive tackle. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Did you guys see that stat that, I think it was 9 out of the last 11 years, the 25th round pick has been traded? The people that originally had it did not use it. That's insane.
That.
Yep. It's a cursed pick, apparently.
Yeah.
Can I throw out a couple comments from our side?
Yeah, definitely.
Tyler said the Packers are selling the farm to move up for Marvin Harrison Jr. with a laughing emoji. He said, but in all seriousness, a defensive back, safety, or tackle in the first would be a win, in my opinion. I could agree with that. And then Christopher said, what's up, nerds? In all caps. She said, what up, nerds? In all caps.
I feel like it would have to be a revenge thing for them to trade up to get a wide receiver like that when we don't need it, just to do it. Most petty thing ever.
But the thing is, from my perspective, I wouldn't be shocked if they're looking wide receiver. Because, I mean, a couple of years ago, there were rumors about them trying to move up for Justin Jefferson. There were rumors about Goody loving this guy. It seems like every year there's some kind of rumor about Gutekunst fell in love with a wide receiver in the first, and then it just didn't happen. And, if he falls in love this year, if he did fall in love with, a Brian Thomas Jr.
Yes, please.
Right? And, I mean, Watson and Dobbs each have 2 years left. It's not inconceivable at all that Goody just says, all right, we'll take my first-round receiver this year. I think it's – I don't want to say likely at all, but I do think it's, tremendously possible.
Dude, I don't know if you watched our mock draft, but what you just said there is hilarious because I don't know if you've seen Jake's face, but Simon, who joined us, we were doing our first one. And he said, "Hear me out" with Brian Thomas Jr. And Jake was like, "No, absolutely not." So the fact that you chose that name,
possible.
I understand it's possible, but I swear to God, if it happens, dude,
I'm gonna be plenty to talk about.
I would love it, but that's just me.
The only famous person to be a Lions fan is on the stage right now.
So what would you guys think if they did do – so say they shocked us, took Brian Thomas Jr. Do you think that means, Christian Watson is possibly on the trade block or someone else might be on the trade block, or you think they just roll with that?
Yeah. My personal opinion is I think they just roll with it. Yeah. I don't think drafting Thomas Jr. tonight would – suddenly make them want to move on. If anything, it's further vertical insurance against Watson's chronic hamstring injuries continue.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree with you. I think they'll let it roll for a year and then see if Watson they both play really well. And then because I don't think they would get the return on Watson that they would want right now. But if he balls out, but Thomas Jr. balls out as well, then you might get a second or first back for Watson.
Yep.
Oh God. I can't stand this.
You got comments coming in from France. That's awesome.
Oh, yes.
Bader.
Look at Detroit introducing all the talent they've wasted over the years.
Does that include Eminem?
I'm showing it right now.
Whichever one you want to click on.
I like Eminem, but I just can't.
Happy draft, Miss Janelle.
Chris Han saying, hello, Jon, Claudia, and friends.
Hello,
Mr.
Chris.
Detroit think they are with those awesome jerseys. Can only imagine their Harry Potter group name Sick Kitties or something.
Those new helmets too.
They're like the Oregon Ducks of the, they always look good but never seal the deal.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Ed saying, here we go. Hope Goody nails it like last year. Go
What's up,
Pack,
Ed?
go. Let's see. Bruce saying Goody is going to drop another hammer on the league tonight. Let's go.
Can
he?
He will.
Anna Gray saying, holy cow, I'm excited. This feels like a holiday.
Hey, Anna.
We've all been waiting so long.
And Anna actually making it over to YouTube. Hello, Anna.
Okay, I gotta ask you guys. I have a puppy. If nobody knows, I have a 11-week-old puppy that is wrecking havoc in my house.
Oh no! Oh no!
So it's been a great time with a toddler and an 11-year-old who has 0 pair of ears, and then a puppy. So it's just a great time in my house every single day.
Yeah, look,
I love
it's
it
like
all.
a 4-hour live stream. There's going to be some actual life things happening during it. So.
Yeah.
Sounds exciting.
Well, they're going to bed soon, and he's going to bed in an hour. So then I'll be
All
alone. So then you'll see a much happier version of me. So, not the stressed out one.
Did you guys see that report about Colby Wooden? Do you think that changes anything what we might do at interior?
Actually, I did not. What did it say?
He went from 179 pounds to 191 or something. Added, he said it was all muscle. It wasn't like bad
You
weight.
mean 291?
291. Sorry, 291.
I knew what you meant.
Yeah, he gained like 15 pounds of muscle. So where they were thinking maybe putting on a DE, you got to think maybe he's playing interior a little more now.
I mean, he's probably taking. No, go ahead.
Well, he also just mentioned that, like, for his position, he wasn't going to have to relearn much going from Barry to Halfley. So I think that that was the giveaway right there of he's bulking up to become a true defensive tackle now.
Yeah, because last year when I don't remember if you guys remember this conversation, he was kind of like that weird tweener thing where he was like an oversized, outside linebacker and the system we had last year. So it makes sense to put him in like that 3 tech and have him gain a little bit more weight.
Yeah.
And that might make it to where we're, if we're looking at an interior defensive lineman versus interior offensive lineman around like 3rd or 4th round, they might like say, let's go offensive line because we have Wooden ready to roll, or give him the chance there. He's showing he can play. So,
well, and I've been wondering, like, if they would actually ask Wooden to slim down a little bit, because I mean, last year he was only playing at like 270, which is not at all out of the range for Packers edges. So I was wondering if they would tell him to lose 5 pounds or like work on his quickness, and then actually just convert him to defensive end now.
Yeah,
but sounds like they went the polar opposite way on that, and they want him to be beefy in the middle. Which, okay,
you need more beef in the middle. That's all I know.
Yeah, that's true.
I was waiting for Simon to laugh at that.
Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm tired. So those things.
Oh, you're not fun today. You're not fun today. Oh,
not today.
I set that one up for you to act
like he's not fun. He's gonna get weird.
Just give me a little warm up. I'll say some weird things.
I believe that you will.
I mean, we got a minimum of 4 hours here. So.
This is. Does anyone think there's a possibility this is not Caleb Williams in any world?
I was just going to
say, Simon is tired, guys.
I hate
Europe in here. What's up?
We've all known the number 1 overall pick for like 3 weeks now, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You don't have to take the whole 15
Try
minutes.
3 months, bro.
It would just be so funny, though.
Be very Bears.
Yeah, it would be.
JJ McCarthy.
Maybe they panic.
Harbaugh would be mad.
Yeah, it would be super surprising.
All right, we got
What's up, Steve?
What's up, everyone? I heard rumors that Alexander, Preston Smith, and Royce Newman are on the trade block during the draft.
Really, Royce Newman.
Trade for Royce Newman.
Who's gonna
You got a bag of chips for him.
Yeah.
Are we playing a game of which one doesn't belong? Because that does not belong.
We'll see.
I would say Royce Newman, if he's probably, I don't think the other 2 are getting traded. If anyone's going to get Royce Newman, it would be someone giving us a 7th conditional for him because he's getting cut next week after we sign all our draft picks anyway.
Well, and I mean, Jair can't be traded. Like that's done. Right. And they're definitely not trading Preston.
No.
I'd be surprised if they didn't let Royce go to camp at least. I mean, he's a body that's played. I'm not saying he's good, but
he knows the offense, and that alone is going to buy him a lot of time.
I agree.
That's fair.
Patrice saying, hello, everyone. The time is now. And as always, go Pack, go.
Always. Howdy, Patrice.
Hello.
And then we got Peter all the way from France.
Bonjour, Peter.
Because you're crazy.
Bonjour. Enjoy the all-nighter you have ahead, Peter.
Oh, man.
Just starting an early morning.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, lots of international comments. I dig it.
Ahead.
Very long night, Solar Miner. You ain't kidding.
And then we got Martin saying, hi, guys. Greetings from Europe.
Martin, hello.
Sweet.
My only players to trade up for are Arnold and Mitchell.
Agreed.
Okay.
Yeah, I would trade up for Eugene.
You wouldn't trade up for Olu? I'd trade up for Olu. If they could get to 16 and get Olu, I would trade up for him. I'd be happy with that. Okay, fine. I'll be the only one happy in here. I don't give a shit. Really.
I'm not saying I wouldn't be happy.
No, I wouldn't.
It's not that I wouldn't be happy. Taking Barton at 25 and keeping the picks. Like,
that's fair.
Yeah, the way I see it, it's like Joe Alt, then kind of everyone else in like the next tier of guys.
And I'm like my listeners know this. I'm firmly in the camp of like I don't really want to tackle round one unless they can start at right guard right now, because I'd rather sit back in round 2 and grab somebody else, or 3 and grab Roger Rosengarten. I'd rather spend the first round capital on something like a tier above than I think I can get a couple rounds later.
Yeah. My thing with tackle specifically is that the Packers can draft tackle. They can address 2 positions at once by drafting like a starting caliber tackle and then moving Zach Tom to center and addressing 2 with 1 pick.
The thing, like, yes, I would agree with that sentiment, but I think it comes further down the line because I don't think they're going to pick a tackle in round 1 that's going to be even remotely comparable to Tom at right tackle right now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Tom was
not the question, in my opinion, though. The question is, would they be better at right tackle than Josh Myers is at center?
Yeah, that's what the question really is.
Yeah, but right tackle is more important.
Right.
True. So, and in terms of that, I would give the nod to leave Tom alone at right tackle.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like you can get someone
at 41, and then everybody's happy.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like you could get a true center that can step in for Myers and leave Tom where he's at. Because we kind of had this conversation too, because, you know, how much, you know, motivation does Tom to have to move to center where they're historically not paid as much as tackles? So do we turn around and pay him as what he's worth? Because he probably wants to get paid as a right tackle because he's showing he can be a Pro Bowl right tackle. So
I think you pay him as what he is, which is a 5-spot player.
Yeah,
that's what I was going to say. I think the Packers would do him right in that aspect of paying him as a versatile lineman rather than just a center if it came down to it.
Well, and I mean, it could very well be like the Elton Jenkins contract of like, here's your base contract, but if you wind up playing X amount at tackle, here's all the escalations that come with that.
Yeah.
The question that I have is because Elton, like he had kicked out at tackle, but it was pretty clear they were going to move him back. Mm-hmm. Tom, at this point, would Tom even entertain a talk like that? Or would he just straight up say, no, I'm a tackle. Let me play tackle and pay me like it.
Yeah. Because I kind of agree with you too, because you can get like the second or third center in this draft in the second or third round. Yep. Where if we can get the tackle or the really solid like Graham Barton interior lineman, I know people said he could play center too, but in the first round, I think you take him there, and then you know you can get a Zach Zinter or whoever you might choose your flavor, or even a Christian Haynes or you know what I mean, like who could play center in the second or third round. So there's definitely you make a good point with value. It's going to be interesting to see what they do for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, we got Dan Coleman.
What's up, Dan?
Good evening, all. Do we think we do the Packersy? I'm so tired of that already. I think someone nobody is talking about, or will it be someone the media has pegged to us?
How many mock drafts have you guys done? I feel like I've done like.
I was going to say it would be hard to have someone pick that we haven't talked about
at some point.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I think this year, though, it's going to wind up being someone that's been discussed. Like, I don't know. It just feels too unified this year to be honed in on some guys. It's possible it'll be out of left field, but
there's a surprise.
Right.
Yeah, I've seen Cooper DeJean mocked to us so many times that makes me think it's not going to happen. So we'll see.
Yeah. Well, and even did you see the article from Bill Huber that dropped like an hour ago? He talked to a total of 10 either first round agents or current NFL scouts from around the league and asked them, what do you think the Packers are going to do? 9 of the 10 said they're getting DeJean somehow. And that was it.
I think that's just them reading that from all the media mocking him to us.
Yeah. Oh, it's been a ton. Yeah.
Jake's dad said, funny how all the execs for Chicago are high-fiving. You had months to do what everyone knew.
That's true.
Hey, guys, we got one right. Caleb.
Oh, yeah, we're tracking that, aren't we?
Yep. I got a highlighter in our list that we made.
You have the list in front of you?
I do.
Nice.
Hey, Don, hello. Just want to let you know, I looked into this a little bit this morning. I'm sure it was brought up yesterday. There's rumors in the league that some teams have completely scratched Powers Johnson off their boards because of lingering concerns with a concussion history. And that hasn't been confirmed, but it's been like rumored enough through the right people enough that there seems to be some validity to it. And that, I think, probably is what you're hearing. And then in terms of the personal, like the articles that I read, some of them did attach a little paragraph about like teams also feel as though he's arrogant. And they're using that as like, well, he's concussed and arrogant, so let's just cross him off.
Hey, remember when San Francisco didn't draft Aaron Rodgers because they thought he was arrogant?
It turned out great for him.
There are plenty of NFL players that are arrogant. They're in the NFL.
Yeah, you're top 1% of athletes in the world.
Where is the line from arrogance and confidence?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's their job to figure it out.
It depends on the person. That's a great way to question it.
Yeah.
How about all the Bears fans saying that Caleb Williams is better than Aaron Rodgers' prime? Have you guys seen those comments?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah. We'll see.
Christopher over from your guys' Facebook. Congrats to Caleb Williams. Start getting used to seeing Jair run the other way.
I have to get used to looking at Rashawn Gary out of his ear hole.
Yep.
Especially when they don't draft an offensive lineman at 9.
Yeah, insane.
Bro, if they draft a wide receiver, I would laugh.
How many wide receivers do you need? Well, Keenan Allen's retiring. Okay.
Hey, I really appreciate
when you guys are picking top 10 again.
I really appreciate the NFL stream of this, giving Caleb Williams that 1/8 of an inch over his 6 feet.
All right.
Real important. All right, you want to click on Solar Miner there, please?
Here we go. I still like Peyton Wilson as a safety.
We talked about that a little bit. I like in terms of the Viper role in Hafley's defense, like that hybrid linebacker safety, I could at least like see it happen. He didn't cover a ton in college, but when he did, he was considered at least capable or semi-competent. So
we're talking like big safeties to like kind of play in the box.
Say it, Tyler.
How do you feel about James Williams from Miami?
I knew you were going to say it.
Yeah.
I felt it.
He's another one for like that Viper role, and I'd be fine with it. I mean, it certainly wouldn't cost the capital that probably a Peyton Wilson is going to. But I mean, like, depending on how undersized they want to go with that role, someone like Jaden Hicks could wind up doing it too.
Yep, we picked him a ton of times in our mocks.
But I mean, it just kind of depends. Like, this is a position we've never drafted for before. So what are they going to really consider the thresholds there?
What about like Anthony Johnson Jr. playing that role a little bit? Because that dude can lay the wood.
He when he hits them, and that's kind of been the thing so far, right? But like, I've actually wondered, might they entertain, just given like how the draft unfolds, however many safeties they get, right? Anthony Johnson Jr. played corner 4 of his 5 years in college. Might he wind up doing a little bit more slot or playing some corner, like flexing him that way as opposed to continuing to bend him into a post safety for Hafley?
Yeah, for Peyton Wilson, if we draft him, I don't want him like pre-snap more than 10 yards down the field, like 8 yards down the field. I don't think we'd want him starting up at safety, but for that Viper role, like you're talking about, that hybrid, sure, because he's had the speed and length to cover, but I don't want him like pre-snap 10 yards down the field, like downfield or nothing like that. Yeah.
And Solder's brought that up on the stream before. I think like we've talked about it. I think it would have to be like that Viper role, that hybrid, basically like big safety, speedy linebacker, whatever that's going to be officially. So
I think Oladapo's kind of got that size too. He's a bigger safety. I think he measured in at like 215 or so.
He was one of the top 30 visits, wasn't he?
Yeah, Oladapo. He was a 30 visit. He's actually like my favorite day 3 prospect in the whole draft. Like, I love that you mentioned him. I would be over the moon if they picked him.
Cody, no, they didn't pick Drake May. They didn't want Mitchell Trubisky 2.0.
Who's the pick here for the Commanders, guys? Who are they taking?
Daniels.
They're going to be Daniels or May?
I think they're taking Jane Daniels. You can't pass this. Come on. You guys have been
Connor's
So-
asking, what do you guys see the Packers doing at 25? Do they trade out or do you think they pick someone? If so, who?
Why don't you guys go first?
All right. So should we all say who, if we draft at 25, who we think we're taking
Sure.
right now? Okay. So if we draft at 25, I think it'll be Kool-Aid McKinstry is my guess.
I'm torn. It'll either be potentially the best available corner, which could be Kool-Aid. If DeJean is there at 25, I'm sprinting to the podium.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like I'm kind of like I would be fine with Kool-Aid. I'd honestly be fine if they pick Nate Wiggins. But I just kind of have a feeling that Graham Barton's going to end up being the pick.
Jake.
God, I've been talking about this all day at work, man. I have a guy that works in the office by me. Shout out to Eric if you're watching, my guy. Used to work for the Packers, so we talk Packers all day, every day. And I was like, man, I don't know. I was like, are they going to take Graham Barton? Are they going to take Kool-Aid? I was like, I really want the Gene, but I don't know because I don't like first-round corners because we suck at drafting them. We suck at drafting corner overall, basically, just to be completely honest with you. But if it was me and say everybody that we all wanted was on the board, I would take Cooper DeJean.
My offensive pick would be Tyler Guyton, by the way. So I think it'll be McKinstry or Tyler Guyton.
So that was going to be who I think they would take is Tyler Guyton. Who I want them to take, if he's there, is Kool-Aid.
And
Yeah, there's
Daniels is off
Jaden
the board.
Daniels. Yep.
Yeah.
Aiden Daniels, nice.
That's
So
good.
my official thinking is that they trade up just a couple picks and grab DeJean.
I wouldn't mind them trading down.
Yeah, I think Goot's gonna fall in love. So like that's my official. But like if they can sit at 25 and pick DeJean, 100%, yeah, sprint it up there. In terms of
everybody knows that the pick is in, and I'm just seeing Goodell walking to the podium getting booed.
What are you watching on?
NFL Plus.
I'm on NFL Live on YouTube TV.
So am I. I'm on NFL Live on YouTube TV.
Same.
But like I've got concerns with most like Guyton. He's fine, but he's almost exactly what I personally don't want because they're probably going to redshirt him this year because he has so much development to do. And like, okay, fine. Like if that's the pick, I'm not going to be upset, but it's not what I personally want. And
I have him penned into the Cowboys.
Yeah, I mean, I could very well see that. But in terms of like Barton, he's going to be an interior offensive lineman for them in all likelihood. And that would be the first IOL that they've picked in the first round since 1994, depending on how technical you want to get. So like, can't really say that I think that that's all that likely. I mean, I love Barton. He's probably would be my favorite offensive lineman they could pick in that range, but I just don't know as if they'll do it.
Are you fatigued by the Packers choosing these first round developmental sort of guys?
Personally, not really if they still play. So like LVN last year was a first rounder, but as the third edge, you knew he'd still see the field, right?
And he came on at the end of the year too. Like the way he started.
Yeah, that's my thing. If he got better as the year went on.
Yeah. Or like if they pick a first round corner who's going to be a part of the rotation or a first round receiver, as long as they're actively playing, right? What I really don't want in round one, and this is just my personal preference, is I don't want someone who essentially is going to have to redshirt because there is no rotation at their position. So like a Guyton or a Mims, someone who they are actively picking to give the year off to learn, and they're only going to play in case of injury or emergency or whatever, because I'd rather just get that kind of player in round 3, even if the ceiling isn't quite so high.
That makes sense.
My cousin,
saying, as much as it would make this eve, how about trade 25 to Washington for 36 and 78 to get 3 picks in both rounds 2 and 3, or Texans for 42 and 59. Wow.
42 and 59, I would do immediately.
And wasn't that like the exact trade that we did in the community mock draft 2 days ago? Like, wasn't it like exactly that?
You liked what you did.
I didn't do it. They voted on it. But yeah, I mean, sure. I can give it that.
Was the value there? Question for you, John. Was the value there for like on the Rich Hill draft value? Is it 42 and 59 that matches up to 25?
I'll pull it up.
I got one printed right here.
That's a long way to fall.
Yeah.
To go from
Yeah.
25 to 36 and 78. So 25 is valued at 230 points. 36 is at 166 and 78 is at 59. So no.
Because I was gonna say 42 and 59. That two seconds for a late first, I would have to definitely consider if I was the Viking.
You'd have to add in something like a sixth, something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
I think that'd be a little bit more trade compensation.
and then I think if they did something like that, I would think you would see them trading up to back early in the second to grab someone they wanted. Like they might like call Carolina up and be like, "What do you want for 33?" Because I know you're a little pick starved.
I mean, we kind of talked about it like right at the top of the show that like if they trade out of this pick tonight, then we just have 6 picks tomorrow and we just talk every 15 minutes about a new Packer.
Yep.
Well, I'm stuck in a water park with my family because we planned it. I love my kids, but I'm gonna be like trying to somehow not destroy my phone while going down a water slide. I'm like, I'm stuck in here. Just leave me for a couple hours with my phone. Or something.
Dad's gonna go take a nap.
Brian's gonna get stuck in the dryer tomorrow.
You're not here, so that won't happen.
Goot's gonna trade down to 36 and get offensive tackle Jordan Morgan or linebacker Edgerrin Cooper plus an extra top 100 pick.
So you like what we did on the community mock? Is that what I'm getting, Peter?
I mean, they did choose it. They just wanted to
Yeah,
happen
Peter was there. Yeah, all right.
in real life now.
I like
Patriots
Edgerrin Cooper.
in.
Indeed.
Aiden, this is your team. The pick is in. My son likes the Patriots, I guess. He doesn't really like the Patriots. He just pretends because it makes me really mad.
Better. Steve, I see your comment about Malik Washington. Sorry, bud. Still don't think it's going to happen. Scott, I don't think we said hi to you. Hello, Scott. Captain Kebbles, what's up, man? Happy to see you here. Vinny B, hello. Lee 86, what's up?
Here it is, Aiden.
I think we dominated on
I'll
everybody.
turn it up for you for a little bit. Aiden.
It's got to be a quarterback, right?
Yes.
Unless they don't like Drake May.
Unless they grab McCarthy.
Yeah.
That would put the Vikings in shambles, and that would be hilarious.
Drake May.
Drake May.
We had 2 and 3 in the right spots. We just had them flip-flopped.
Huh.
G-Man, going to be a good draft for us. I feel it. 100%. I'm with you. Right. It's going to be a successful draft. Mac Jones.
You wanted JJ McCarthy's trash, Aiden.
I'd rather, honestly, I think I'd rather Minnesota
He
end up.
literally got carried.
Yeah, I'd rather him get. I'd rather the Vikings trade up and take JJ McCarthy than sit out like 11 or 23 and get Penix Jr.
I would hate that. I really
very-
hope they get McCarthy. I don't want them to end up with Penix.
Yeah, because he's pretty accurate, and then he's playing not in the elements in a dome. Like he could,
Yeah, until he has to come play in the elements.
Yeah, well, that's the good part, right? Hopefully, he's always scheduled in Green Bay.
And I mean, the problem with Penix too is the fact that he's torn that ACL twice.
Yep, the injury.
Just how much
Well,
longer
did you
does
see
that
his
ACL
message?
have left on it?
His message he put out to the NFL is pretty powerful the other day.
Oh, I didn't see that from Penix.
Yeah, dude, he penned a pretty good little note.
Oh, okay.
I really like
Cardinals or Chargers trade out of 4 or 5.
No.
Cardinals are about to take.
I think the Cardinals are taking a wide receiver.
Yep.
Yeah, and the Chargers need a wide receiver too, so we'll see what they do.
I heard the Colts were trying to trade for this pick.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I could
Really?
see Cardinals staying and then
moving
Chargers
this far up
trading
for?
out.
You think they'd move all the way up for Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Maybe.
Marvin Harrison Jr. is about to be the next pick.
Yeah, I think he's going next.
He's like really good.
Yeah.
And he
Wouldn't have
wears
shocked me
like
if the Bears had drafted him at 1 and kept Justin Fields.
he wears like $100,000 watches and catches touchdowns. It's insane.
Isn't
I
that
can't
like the
believe
main
he
job
might
of a
be.
wide receiver?
He did that against Wisconsin a couple of years
Yeah,
ago.
until you meet Aqib Talib. And
Those are jewelry.
I mean, Ricardo Hallman locked down Marvin Harrison Jr.
I like Cole Bishop a lot.
Oh,
I do
yeah.
too.
Peter's saying Goot's going to double up at linebacker with Cooper and Wallace and safety with Bishop and Oladapo. Thoughts?
That would be the dream.
Peter, you live in
honestly.
the mid rounds.
I like the linebacker combo.
Yeah.
Could I potentially offer a different safety combo of Jaden Hicks and Dadrian Taylor Demerson?
I
I'm
mean,
a big Jaden Hicks fan.
If we do that tomorrow, like I'll be giddy.
I'm good with any of them. My only concern with like
Hey, Josh.
Peter, like you mentioned, getting Edgerrin Cooper, Wallace, like you figure you're going to start those two. Plus you got McDuffie. Plus you got Quay Walker. Between Quay, Cooper, and Wallace, you have 3 linebackers that are extraordinarily similar in how they play, what their weaknesses are, what their strengths are. Like, I just wonder if they're a little over redundant to get.
That's why I like
all
the
of them.
linebacker out of Michigan.
Colson.
Yeah, Colson.
I mean, he's truly different. Like
And
he's
yeah.
he's bigger than the rest because he's at like 245 versus like Cooper, I think in the mid 230s, and others like Colson could probably line up at like an actual Sam spot in the base defense versus Cooper, Wallace, the rest, like going to be some kind of mix of Mike and Sam and just let them run around.
Yeah,
And I
just
like-
some athletes.
I like that
That's
combo.
what it would be.
I like that combo idea, but if you get that combo idea, you're probably talking about giving up a chance to get someone like Cooper Beebe or Haynes or Mahogany or some like it, where we kind of thrive with interior or even offensive linemen all together in those rounds. I want to see them take a couple there, to be honest, because there's some safeties later on that I think you can take flyers onto, like the Vaki, I believe his name. Like I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I like him.
Yeah.
Just the speed, pure speed, and the like special teams versatility out of him and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. I do think they'll probably take a safety early to put next to McKinney, but I think if they take another safety, you're looking in the 6th or 7th round.
Yeah. In my opinion, like safety 2 right now is the top need on the roster because like linebackers, a lot of time they're going to play 4-2-5 and you've got McDuffie and Quay.
Heard that too.
Right. If like anywhere on the offense, Sean Ryan, yeah, not great, but like he's at least played in the offense before, right? And then you look at the safety spot, it's Xavier McKinney, and then literally who? That is, it's right now you're lining up Anthony Johnson Jr. or praying to God Zane Anderson learns how to play defense and not just teams. So like to me, that is the gap on the roster right now that literally does not have a player to plug in. Whereas the other spots, you at least have someone who's done it before in a backup role.
So if they take Cooper DeJean, do you think there's a possibility he plays safety, or do you think there's a possibility he takes a slot role and Keyshawn Nixon gives a shot at safety? What do you think they might do there?
DeJean's going to play both.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Any surprises?
Completely with you,
Nope,
Tyler.
we got it right.
Maserati Marv.
I mean, I think if they pick the Gene, like they're because Good even said at his last presser, they want nickel and safety to even be interchangeable beyond just the 2 safeties, which means they're going to line up Xavier, Nixon, and DeJean just wherever they feel like it.
There'd be a lot of fun speed on the defense there. That'd be fun to watch.
There you go.
My son just said he's a Cardinals fan now because of Marvin Harrison.
Loyalty is not your strong suit, huh?
He was like, they're already OP. I was like, the Cardinals? He's like, they have Kyler Murray. I was like, yep, keep watching YouTube highlights, buddy.
There's a reason they're drafting 4th, buddy.
Yeah, they're very fun to play with in Madden.
They're great. They're great on the game.
I mean, Jake, just let him be. He's got representation because he's the same height as Kyler Murray as an 11-year-old.
You're not wrong.
I like a couple of the Cardinals offensive players. Like Michael Wilson, I thought was pretty solid last year for where he got picked. Trey McBride came along pretty well.
That tight end, yeah.
Yeah, McBride.
Trey McBride.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
so Snowman's just going to be serious today. Okay.
Kind of the fatal flaw there is still going to be that line. They still don't have an O-line,
100%.
and Kyler's just going to run for his life.
Yeah.
Peter's showing some doubt in Quay.
Peter, keep the faith. I don't blame you for having doubt at this juncture, but I do believe Quay. I think he was given in some ways too much vagueness and too much freedom in Barry's defense, where he had to make decisions. And even dating back to college, that's never been his strong suit.
Yeah.
If they put him in a spot now where he doesn't necessarily have to make decisions or even Reed, but it's more like his assignment is, hey, quarterback, go get him.
Yeah.
Then just like let Quay go. And then I think we would see like the tide begin to turn on Quay. But what he's been asked to do for the last 2 years has been what we all knew was going to be his weakness. And then it's not really shocking. Honestly, he reminds me a ton of like how Patrick Queen was in Baltimore. Because Queen's first 2 years, he was worse than Quay is now. Queen was awful in Baltimore. And then all of a sudden he got Zach Orr as his linebacker coach. They changed his role. And then all of a sudden he's been great the last 2 years. I think Quay could do that.
Yeah. No, you're spot on with Quay not having to read and diagnose. If he could just really like the whole play, if he can just kind of be put in his spot, use his speed and his athleticism, I think he could definitely have a big year this year.
Yep.
Connor asking, do you think we take a running back in the late rounds?
Could see one as early as round 3, maybe.
Trey Benson. Trey Benson.
Benson, if Jalen Wright's there in 3, like I could see either one of them.
Audric Estime.
I'm not high on him, man.
I wonder if they're going to be scared off by his 40, though.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, he's got the pass blocking and the bulk, but that 40 would be the slowest 40 I think they've picked at running back in like 25 years.
We're going to end up with another A.J. Dillon, who's underwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's what would have to remain to be seen, and you're looking at it, is my biggest thing when we're looking at running backs to be behind Josh Jacobs is I need a guy that can succeed in short yardage and goal line situations. That's my absolute biggest like want of a skill in a running back. That's why Gus Edwards was my number 1 free agent target, because he's so good in short yardage. That's what I want from a running back, because Josh Jacobs can do everything.
Yeah,
I just need a guy that can get us a yard and a half when there's 9 guys on the line of scrimmage.
I mean, honestly, I didn't watch a lot of tape on him, but we've seen big guys not be successful in short yardage because they can't find a hole because they're too big, like A.J. Dillon. So if they think, Josh Jacobs or Eric Wilson or someone else, or they end up with a right. But I would rather, if you're talking to me, I'd rather take the Wisconsin running back because it's just sheer athleticism at that point rather than Estime.
I was gonna say Braylon Allen, he's got a little wiggle for his size, man. And obviously we know a lot about Braylon Allen, right? From Wisconsin, grew up in Fond du Lac, started college at 17. He's only 20 years old right now. So the kid is 20 years old, 250 pounds, he's 8% body fat. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude.
Jake, I picked him in my draft, and I had people commenting on my draft saying that he's damaged goods.
Tyler,
well, so let me ask you, because you guys follow Badger football way more than I do. Why didn't he test?
He's still recovering from his injury.
Yeah, he has a lot of nagging injuries, man.
They said that he said that he's just now back to 100%, and he didn't want to just like come back at 100% and then do the 40. He wanted to have time to like train for it and like have a couple weeks to build up for it. So that's why he didn't do it. Which,
I mean, like I get at the combine, but then he continued to not test, like even at the pro day, even at some of his private workouts. Like we have not seen any numbers from
that I read that he was saying he's 100% was like the second week of April. So this was like just two and a half weeks ago.
I thought they had his 40 time at 4.4 flat. So did he run one?
That's just his like college time, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think he's actually run an official like draft counted one.
No, he did the vertical and broad jump.
Okay.
I mean, he was a three-way player, if you want to think of it that way, in high school. He played safety, linebacker, and running back. So I mean,
sure,
he's a pretty good athlete. I'll say that. And I bought him Dairy Queen once, so got that going for me. I'll always have that.
You bought Braylon Allen Dairy Queen and got dunked on by Sam Decker. What a life you've lived.
Good. Very blessed. At least they made it to the big show, right? I could say that.
That's true.
We got Cammie saying, I'd like to see the Packers take B. Corum. That's Blake Corum.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Be interesting.
And I think you're saying, Kamikaze, like in terms of a smaller yet still stocky back that can kind of wiggle his way through the goal line.
With Josh Jacobs, Corum won't be overused.
True, because that is a major concern with Corum. He would, I mean, not that it's necessarily a deal breaker, but Corum would also be the shortest running back that they would have picked since pre-Ted Thompson being GM, because he'd be 5'8", and the shortest one that they've had since the year 2000 was Aaron Jones at 5'9". Yeah. So like we don't. I mean, is that a true threshold, or have they just not liked any? We don't know, but it would be kind of a tendency breaker.
Yeah, I'd be okay with like an athletic freak later on, like Garendo too, being 6 foot, 221 pounds, running a 4.33. Like that's insane.
Also, former
and return ability.
Yeah. So
Corum has a lot of touches too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he got ran into the ground by Harbaugh, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I said JJ McCarthy sucks. He literally got carried. Good job. He can hand the ball off.
Dude, JJ McCarthy was such a benefit of his skill players around him.
Bro. And that offensive line was so good. That defense was monstrous. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Who do you guys think Chargers go here?
Malik Neighbors.
Yeah, Neighbors.
I think they're going to take Joe Alt.
It'd be a good pick.
Harbaugh said they have to build the line. He's a big trenches guy.
There are some good wide receivers in like rounds 2 and 3. I like too.
And it's not like they're completely. I like Palmer a lot for them, to be honest.
I do too. I actually like Jalen too.
Well, and who that they signed? They signed Gus Edwards, right, at running back, and then they signed one other one, like
J.K. Dobbins.
Yeah, another more power back. Like
he could stay healthy.
Hot take: the Chargers draft Joe Alt here and then trade back into the first round for a wide receiver.
I could see it.
To 25 with the Packers, and they pick Keon Coleman.
Peter, I totally agree with you. Like, I like Jalen Wright a lot. In fact, he's my running back 1.
Yeah, I love Jalen Wright.
My number 2.
And like Aaron Jones 2.0 any day.
He can be the lightning to their thunder that they got right now in the backfield.
He's also
I would be happy with that. I feel like you could be ending up with Jahmyr Gibbs just in the 2nd or 3rd round. Like maybe not quite that level, but I like him a lot.
I also think he has like the top speed that Aaron Jones doesn't have necessarily.
Dude, that was the one thing that killed me with Aaron Jones. So many times, there was a couple huge runs in like playoff games. If you can just have the gas to finish, the game ends different.
And fumbling.
He was also a little bit older and dealing with some little nicks and.
Good call, Joel.
Yeah, they're building the line.
Yep.
That's a smart pick. That's a completely. Damn, that dude's tall.
Yeah, he's big, dude.
I can't stand Harbaugh, but the man is a smart football mind. I'll say that.
He's huge, dude.
Okay, so now we can stop talking that Justin Herbert's going to go to the Vikings now.
Oh, good.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
His dad wasn't very small either. Holy Christ.
That's a good pick for them. That's
so smart.
Yeah.
That's what the Bengals need to do that they never do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I have one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He'll bail me out of everything.
Don't need to protect him.
Why was Aaron Rodgers so successful? Why is Tom Brady so successful? They always had huge lines, great lines in front of him.
Dude's a Jolly Green Giant. Look at him. Holy
wow. Yeah. Wow.
What'd they feed that dude?
Can you imagine the grocery bill?
He's from Minnesota. He's
he had an NIL deal this year. He's fine.
Corn-fed dude.
Right.
The thing is,
Joseph wondering which team will be the first to trade out of their spot. Chicago at 9.
What do we got?
Atlanta at 8, maybe.
I can see Atlanta at 8.
What about New York?
The Giants?
Yeah,
they're taking a wide receiver for sure.
You think they're going to take?
Name a good wide receiver on their team.
Name a wide receiver.
A good one.
Darius Slayton.
I like Slayton a little bit. If he wasn't injured, he'd be a good.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Shepard when he played.
Jalen Hyatt
falling to them here. I could see them taking him.
Weren't you huge on Hyatt last year?
Yeah, and he wasn't good in the league. Sometimes I'm wrong.
Was he not good, or was Daniel Jones just bad?
Both.
Yeah.
All right.
It
could be both.
Why not both?
Wouldn't it be funny if they take JJ McCarthy here so we could watch Vikings fans just
That's what I've been
Just
seeing from
explode.
the telecasters is that Giants are going to pick McCarthy so that the Vikings won't get him.
I don't think Darius Slayton's bad.
No.
He's not a wide receiver 1, but he's definitely serviceable.
Although I did see something recently, like he wants to get paid like a wide receiver 1 in his next contract.
He's got to have more than like mid 700 yards.
I'm okay calling him serviceable. I'm not okay calling him.
You saying Slayton wants that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I saw that a couple weeks ago. That he was talking about how like his last contract that he got with the Giants was under market. Now it's time to get paid.
Go ahead and do like how many of us were laughing when the Chiefs gave MVS? Fine. I like MVS, whatever. He was good, not even good at what he does actually, but like we all laughed that they paid him $10 million and was like, oh, we stole them from you. I'm like, you didn't, dude. Like you can take them for $10 million.
Yeah.
I love that the comments, everybody is all down for the Vikings not getting a quarterback and being stuck with Arnold. Schefter tweeted that in recent weeks, both the Patriots and Vikings reached out to the Chargers to see if they had any interest in trading Justin Herbert. Per league sources, the answer was very quickly a flat no.
I just don't see a reason for them to do it.
Well,
there was rumors that they would trade him and then draft JJ McCarthy.
The dead cap that they would take on would be like ridiculous. Wouldn't the dead cap be like over 100 million?
It would be nuts.
Like there's no way.
You don't trade a top 5 quarterback in the league when he's actually protected and has what he needs around him just because your college quarterback is getting drafted. That'd be the stupidest thing Harbaugh could have done to walk in.
And there's no way Harbaugh would do it.
That's the only reason that rumor was even made up was because Harbaugh was there.
Yeah.
Harbaugh was doing his job and pumping up his guy to try to get his draft stock to rise.
Yeah.
Just like you see every other college coach doing.
Yep.
Because you know why? It's a recruiting method.
Yep.
That's why you don't see Saban in the college anymore because now he can't just pump up all his first round draft pick because he's getting everyone because now other colleges are just offering people money. Why do you think he left? He left because now he's not just on top as easy.
Yeah.
That's
Peter
my
saying,
opinion.
how about Malachi Corley being Goot's dark horse in round 2 at pick 58? LaFleur would then have his own Devo. It could be a match in heaven for Green Bay. And there goes Malik Neighbors to
Bye, Neighbors.
All right.
Hey, they have a good wide receiver now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Too bad they have a terrible quarterback.
God, we had 5 and 6 just flopped again.
So I actually kind of like Malachi Corley. I mean, I wouldn't be pumping up like him being picked, but like I think he has some solid fit in Green Bay.
Yeah, he just fit that like vague weapon role.
Yeah,
like that's what they put him into. I mean, I don't know. Corley, I think, would be a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie, I haven't spent a ton of time researching him just because I don't think he's all that Packersy unless they truly have a unique role in mind for him.
Also, I feel like Jaden Reed can do that, kind of be that Devo light.
Yeah. He just has more size than Jaden Reed.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't disagree there, but so if Tennessee doesn't trade out of here to like Denver I think the Vikings are going to have JJ McCarthy fall to them at 11.
I just want to see the Vikings screw themselves and not get a quarterback.
Yeah, me too. Honestly,
I hope they get JJ McCarthy. I don't think he's that good. Go ahead.
Honestly, I'd prefer like Darnold can be league average this year.
For him, but
like let Darnold be league average this year after not drafting a quarterback, and then they gotta give him a new extension, and they can just ride it out with Sam Darnold for years, and I'm happy.
Just forever in purgatory.
That would be hilarious.
Never get out of it.
Let's let Darnold have like a league average year. Jair can drop a couple picks against him, make his numbers look better. Lock that guy up. I'll join the campaign. Even
time touchdowns in week 18.
Like
I'll order, I agree.
I'll order a Darnold jersey. It's fine. You pay that man $55 million a year. It's just fine.
Oh, the vibes would be immaculate.
What do you guys think of double dipping back into round 1?
Yes.
I would.
Sure. It's going to be expensive, I think, though, Dan. I mean, because even if they sit at 25 and then to get up to from like 41 even to 32, it's going to cost them. I mean, the Chiefs would probably want their 2 and 4, something in that kind of area, like 41 and then 126.
Yeah. And that's what I was thinking they could trade in. I don't know that they'll trade with the Chiefs, but I was thinking maybe San Francisco. But I think they would have to have, maybe they get DeJean at 25 and all of a sudden they really like Tyler Guyton or they really like Amarius Mims and he keeps falling. And they just want to have that 5th-year option. I feel like they could jump up and do that.
To get back to the end of the first round, it would probably cost them 41 and 91.
Yeah.
The other thing too is like I don't know how many, and this kind of happened with Christian Watson too. Is I think the Packers want to get into round 1 to get his 5th-year option, and no other teams are willing to give up that, that 1 5th-year option for their pick.
Yeah. I mean, because that did change the math a few years ago.
Yep,
like completely. So
Lee Neighbors is going to be a really good wide receiver when he has someone other than Daniel Jones.
That second contract with another team is going to be great.
Christopher said Darnold will win 1 playoff game and get a massive payday from the Falcons.
We're thinking the same. That's fine. Although the Falcons, we'll see how many draft picks the Falcons got to lose now because Kirk doesn't know when to talk.
That's what I just said. I was saying with JJ McCarthy, he's just going to be younger Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Miami lost a 1st and a 3rd, so that's kind of the baseline, right? Or that's right in that area. For when they tampered with Brady, they lost a 1st and a 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think this will come off as less, because I mean the whole Miami ordeal, like that in part led to a lawsuit against the NFL, and like that was. I think the NFL is going to chalk that up as more nefarious than just a team and free agent talking.
He was technically under contract, wasn't he?
I think so, yeah.
You think Tennessee goes Odunze here?
Who?
Odunze?
I don't know, because they just signed Calvin Ridley and they picked Trayvon Burks a couple of years ago. And
yeah, but Trayvon Burks sucks.
That's true. But, I mean, hey.
I didn't like him coming out of the draft. I didn't like him when they traded away A.J. Brown and picked him.
I think they need offensive line help, too.
They need offensive line help, too.
I would have liked Joe Alt for them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's kind of what everyone expected, too, was the Chargers taking a wide receiver and them taking Joe Alt.
We had Alt to the Giants, and then we had Leatu Latu going to the Titans here.
Interesting.
It's interesting how these picks now, like with Alt going earlier, is really going to affect like someone like what the Jets might do. Because now, there's talk about them taking the tight end out of Georgia. But however, so if the Titans take offensive line here, maybe now there's no one that the Jets will value as an offensive lineman at 10, and then that might mean they'll take the tight end, or maybe they go Rome Odunze. Because I really don't think – I think it would be so stupid for the Bears to take Rome Odunze. He is not what they need right now. They just got their franchise quarterback, put someone on the line to protect him. But they might listen to like, we want to be flashy and take a wide receiver, which doesn't make sense to me because you already have – like I said, you're still going to be picking the top 10 next year, in my opinion. Get the wide receiver then because you have Allen to go through this year with DJ Moore.
And Cole Kmet. And
DeAndre
Swift.
And DeAndre Swift, who catches a lot of footballs. You still have Tariq Cohen on the team, who, unless you trade him, he catches a lot of – no, not
Tariq Cohen's not on the team anymore.
Not Tariq Cohen. What's the other dang running back's name?
Rashawn Johnson?
Herbert.
No.
Roshan.
Is Cohen off the team? Who was their little scat back that they had?
Dude, they had
Cohen's gone. So they've got DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert, and Rashawn Johnson.
Khalil Herbert, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I've been sick all week, so my brain's a little foggy. But he catches football too. I can't say healthy, but so it'll be interesting. I just don't think that a wide receiver would be a right pick for them there.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, he'll be good. I just don't think that's what they should do.
Sure.
I would love to see the Bears draft a wide receiver and continue to ignore offensive line.
True.
They're like, we got Darnell right. We picked one. We're good.
I think the thing that sucks for them is they only have 3 more picks in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to be able to fill every need.
Yeah.
With only 3 picks left, maybe they really want to
get would be more likely in round 2 and was a 30 visit. I think Carly would be taken in round 3 or 4.
I mean, Xavier Leggett would be a lot of fun in Green Bay. Like I probably would be more on that side than Malachi Corley. Leggett would give them, I mean, he needs to learn how to route run yet, but in terms of like just outright size, I know Watson's huge, but Leggett is different than Watson. Like he uses his size differently. And I think it would give him a receiver that they don't yet have.
Wasn't he super fast too?
Yeah. Yeah. I can look up his exact numbers here. But, did any of you guys see the article that Justice Mosqueda put out in Acme Packing? He called around and tried to learn why each of the top 30 visits was brought in. Did you guys see that?
No, that's awesome.
It was really good article. He detailed that there was basically some guys that Green Bay called in because they wanted to check on an injury. There were some guys that they brought in because they basically wanted to test their mentals and see if they think that they can mentally handle moving up to the NFL. And then there were some guys that they wanted to like rework out. So it was really interesting to hear the rationale behind a lot of the different top 30 picks.
Dude, he did say some of them are smoke screens too.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
Oh, interesting pick.
JC
Latham. Oh, I mean, cool. That gives them their new right tackle. I think it would make more sense if Henry's still there.
I love that pick for Will Levis.
Yeah. Now this is where you could maybe see like if Chicago had, only a couple offensive linemen in the top 10, that's where they could go Rome, but it still doesn't make sense to me. And it's going to be interesting to see what the Jets do too.
I think the Bears should make an insurance selection in case Caleb Williams doesn't pan out. Choose JJ McCarthy right here.
Do it.
Why not? You got to buffer that most important spot.
Do it.
Dude, I would die. It would be my
you've missed on the last 8 times you've tried to draft it. Might as well take 2 shots of the
exactly. Take the bulk approach.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, Washington did it, and it kind of worked out for them.
I mean, that's actually true.
Yeah.
See, we got Reggie saying, I got a feeling we are trading out.
Totally possible.
Hopefully it's up a little
They could trade up. They could trade down. They could trade out.
So I got the numbers on Leggett. He's 6'1", 221, and ran a 4.39 40. Overall, his RAS was 990.
Yeah, that's a tank. He's a tank.
Captain Kebbles just wants to let you know that you're looking snazzy.
Well, thank you, Captain Kebbles. I got this coat at the Packers tent sale. This is the coat that when alumni would show up to the stadium to do like tours or appear on like pregame shows at the stadium, this is what they would wear. And they haven't used them for years. So they like got rid of them at the tent sale. And I saw one and I was like, I'm a little tubby for it, but it's coming home.
Sorry, I instantly thought of Chris Farley scene.
Fine.
I got to wear a suit this Saturday for when we're going to, and I'm like, I'm going to be popping buttons. So
you know where it's to the water park?
I'm going to the water park Friday night, and then I have a fundraising event that I'm going to on Saturday night for the college here in town.
What a weekend!
Yeah,
I had to buy a whole new set of our dress uniform.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That shit was like $700, dude.
Yeah.
Hooking up on all the moose you're eating up there, or what?
Yeah, no, actually, I've lost weight since I've been up here.
Yeah.
Just my old, because I bought the one I had before. I bought in like 2012, and I was like 170 pounds. Now I'm like 205.
He has to trudge through 2 feet of snow everywhere he goes, so it's just a lot harder to walk in here.
The snow's melted. All right.
Just freezing the fat off.
Runs from a bear from his house to his car.
Kevin Kittle saying, I felt Goody stays put in round 1, but moves up for 3 second rounders.
That would be interesting.
To get onto the earlier side of like the meat of this draft from 30 to 90. Yeah, I can totally get that.
Yeah,
I'm on board.
I like the talent in round 2 and 3.
I'm telling you, it's so good 2 and 3.
It was like any mock that I ever did was like, okay, round 1 was semi hit or miss. Like there's either some really good options or crap, there's nothing left to trade back. And then 2 was always like, holy crap, I got 7 options. Which way do I go? And then 3 was kind of similar. And then it just like until you got to like 5, 6, 7. Like the dead spot almost feels like 4, 5 is where like it was options were limited until it became value picks later on.
Martin saying, must be sunny in Detroit. So many sunglasses. I think that's the dumbest thing ever when they wear sunglasses and they're inside and just look.
Phil Collins made it cool, so it's cool.
Yeah. I did see, I saw one comment earlier, I think it was from Kamikaze, talking about how Corley didn't do the combine.
Oh, yes, and that's a negative for me.
Yeah, probably negative for the Packers too, although I do think Corley, I think he at least got some of his tests in at his pro day. And that's where at least the numbers on his RAS card are coming from. In which case, like, they're fine. But he still didn't do the full athletic test. He never finished that. So, yeah, I get that.
That's man. They all are wearing sunglasses. I didn't even realize that.
Yes, it's like
all of them are wearing sunglasses, bro.
You guys hear what Scheffler just said?
No.
But,
he said that Atlanta's considering picking Penix at 8.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. They sign Kirk Cousins to that contract and they turn around and take quarterback.
do it.
Someone that old too? That'd be wild.
I mean, it would make more sense if they were going for like a 20-year-old
Yeah,
raw quarterback who needs to sit, almost like a Love. But
How many
like,
years did they sign Cousins to? 4 years. Like, what's the point?
signed 4 years, $180 million.
Oh,
That would be so
$100
funny.
million
Do it.
guaranteed.
take a quarterback.
Christopher said, "Do it, you cowards."
Chris Fuller, like-minded.
Take Penix.
They just gave this dude $100 million, and that'd be hilarious if they took him.
Dude, Kirk Cousins is just—he has the best agent of all time, dude.
does he? Hold
Right.
on, I want to look this up first.
He has one playoff win and millions of dollars. That is just.
You know who he reminds me of? Who had Sam Bradford. That dude made like $200 million career dollar. Granted, a lot was his rookie contract, but
Right.
he made plenty after that still, and he was just never.
Oh,
Actually, the
that was
Vikings paid him some.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
Andrew
Bradford. He was actually good. He just got hurt.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Andrew
you said
Brantheno
this.
always jokes about how Sam Bradford should have his own wing in the Business Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, they took him,
He
dude.
did it. Wow.
Okay, so I was looking at Kirk Cousins' contract. He's receiving $90 million from this year and the next. So it's a very front heavy contract.
I don't hate this pick. You have a lot of young offensive guys.
It's so weird.
But why, dude? You just gave a quarterback $100 million guaranteed.
So
you can't do
weird
anything
to
with them. What do you do now?
Well, and they're probably gonna get fined for Kirk Cousins anyways.
They're going to lose draft picks, for
Right.
next year.
And then you draft a quarterback.
I like
That- yeah.
Penix. I really wanted to see him go to the Raiders. That's where I wanted to see him.
I don't
hate that
understand.
pick. I really don't.
Like you were saying, Simon, like you've got Kirk, who, he's an aging quarterback. But if you want a quarterback to sit for a few years, why are you picking one of the oldest quarterbacks in the draft?
And
You guys are acting like
the Lions did it last year.
35 anymore. Come on.
Yeah,
You still
but
get
the Lions
15
took,
years
Cousins has a 4-year contract.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's truly like 2-year contract.
Listen. You bring in Kirk Cousins. You have a lot of young talent. You try to groom that up, right? Get them used to getting the ball. Use the playmakers that you drafted, right? This is the thought process that they're going through. And then we always talk about why doesn't other teams do what Green Bay does? Why don't they groom these young quarterbacks? Why don't they have them sit behind these good guys? Okay, now we have a team that's trying to do that, and we're all just going to sit here and laugh at it. I like this strategy.
Okay,
But he's old.
Do that next year.
Love was
He's
young.
not old. He's a young 20s kid.
okay. There's still a difference between a 20-year-old Jordan Love with developmental traits and a 24-year-old Michael Penix with 2 blown ACLs.
Yeah, I compare it to Hendon Hooker more than I compare it to Jordan Love.
And my thing is, my thing is, Atlanta did a lot of good things this offseason, and they could have maybe been a couple pieces away from actually really competing for something. And I feel like Kirk has enough gas. Like they're not in the exact same position we were with when we were doing Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love. Aaron was kind of already wavering, like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Well, that's not the case really with Kirk. He hasn't even mentioned anything about retirement. So I'm baffled. I don't disagree with you completely, but this tells me this means are they already decided? If Michael Penix pans out, they're getting rid of Kirk after 2 years, because otherwise you're going to be, by the time he starts, he's going to be 27, 28 years old.
Let me throw out a what
And
if
you're probably paying
scenario.
him already.
Let me throw out a what if scenario that hasn't been mentioned. What if Kirk Cousins goes to Atlanta and becomes Denver Broncos Russell Wilson?
I was going to
We all
say because
spent
of
how
his
much time
injury.
saying that it's miraculous that Kirk Cousins keeps getting contracts. What if he goes and actually performs like a guy who doesn't deserve the contract that he just got? And they said, all right, Kirk, thanks for teaching Penix the business. Bye.
I would agree with you if Kirk Cousins wasn't successful in Washington and Minnesota already. Russell Wilson was never successful anywhere else.
He was successful in Seattle. He was more successful in
literally
Seattle
won a
than
Super
Kirk
Bowl. He
Cousins
went to
was in
two
Minnesota
straight.
and
That's
Washington
not what I'm saying. You didn't pay attention to what I'm saying. He's only ever proved it with one quarterback or head coach.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
You know, he failed in Denver. Kirk Cousins already proved he was good in Washington, proved again he was good in Minnesota. So I don't think that is that high of a risk.
Well, and I think Kirk Cousins' game is a lot more translatable than Russell's was too.
Yeah.
I don't like that take.
Like I get it, Jake. Like I think more teams should follow the Packer way, but the Packers wouldn't do this for Penix.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about how with the Bears and Justin Fields, he would have done better, in my opinion, at least, if he got to sit behind somebody instead of being one thrown straight into the league and two be thrown to Chicago. But that's also you need to be picking somebody who's young but
again, Justin Fields was on the younger side and had traits.
Right.
Penix is, you have to wonder, what is Penix's ceiling, or is he already getting close to it?
And
in which case, what are you sitting him for?
There's a big pick value difference at number 9 as well as to number 24 or 25, whatever we took Jordan Love at.
Yeah.
26.
26.
That's what I was going to say. 8 and 26 is a big difference.
It is.
They take a Dunze here, right?
Yeah, they did. But, I mean, good for them. But
sorry, I'm a little behind now. I don't know what happened.
You're ahead of me.
I mean, if they don't protect Williams, it doesn't matter how many weapons he has.
That's what I kept saying. They're just going to keep ignoring offensive line.
Hey, they could always re-sign Cody Whitehair again.
No. They gave up a 5th round this offseason to the Bills for that backup center.
You know, we will take a 7th round pick for Royce Newman if you want to start him on your line.
I'll take a plate of nachos, bro.
Could you imagine Kenny Clark lining up from Royce Newman? Just like licking his chops.
I'm not gonna lie, I would smash a plate of nachos right now.
The Bears are doing very good at selling hopium this offseason. I'll tell you that right now.
They are.
Every offseason.
They are going crazy.
Dude, this is the greatest draft ever.
New York trades to Minnesota. What?
Why'd they move up one spot? Oh, I bet you Denver was
10 and 11 now.
What was happening?
They had to be blocking someone else,
and they had to offer him something to stay.
Yep.
Kevin Keppel saying Pete Carroll's owed a lot of apologies by me, especially for making Russ look good for so long when we all thought he was holding him back.
It's true.
Pete Carroll's annoying for how he chooses gun, but he's a really good coach.
Look, I get it that Russell Wilson won a Super Bowl, but like that defense was another like level.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Every time I see Pete Carroll's face, I want to fucking hit him.
God, he is. So, why is he chewing gum so vigorously? What's in that gum?
It's just a very passionate chewer.
Yes.
That's why his chin is so strong.
He's siblings with Ellen DeGeneres.
Commando G-Man saying, so Chicago going full on, we will try to outscore the Lions and Packers.
Yes.
Go for it. Williams is going to take
it doesn't matter when our defensive line is
down there. I'm about to get hit.
Yeah.
So what did they have? A 4th rounder and a sixth rounder?
Yeah, like so they don't pick again for till next week. Like insane.
If I was Chicago, I would have traded down on this pick and gathered more picks.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna tell you guys, my daughter's crying for me and won't go to bed till I say goodnight. So I'm gonna be right back. Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right, now we can talk smack about Jake.
Yeah, he's fired.
All right. We got Chris saying Pete Carroll looks like he harasses employees at Home Depot on
That was a good one.
Wants to know where the gum section is.
Right. Then we got Joseph saying, did Vikings trade up to 10 with the Jets?
Yes, they did.
And to jump Denver.
Yeah, they basically did that because some other team must have been threatening to jump in front and probably take McCarthy. So Vikes.
Or the Jets are really smart and called them and said, "Hey, Denver's going to jump up here. Do you want to give us something?"
Yeah.
Did they say what the compensation was, or
Not yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
It's probably gonna be like a third or fourth.
I have it muted. So, there it is. They
It's
gave
nothing.
up.
I was gonna say it couldn't have been much.
They gave up a fourth and a fifth and got a sixth back.
Yeah, fourth and a fifth. That's a lot of that. I mean, that's.
Yep, and there's the pick we knew was coming. LOL.
Yep, there it is.
LOL. You got young Kirk Cousins. Good for you. Your team is exactly the same.
Wait, are you ahead of me now?
No, I saw it on Twitter. But it's the pick we know is coming.
Yeah. To be honest, I think he could do good only because of the talent around him.
I mean, he's not going into a bad situation.
Yeah, that's kind of what I mean.
Similar to college that way.
And I get it, but like the dude is, we've seen this in like, he's just a proven winner, right? He's like 16-3 in his career as a starter or whatever it is. Like, we've seen this with Brock Purdy, other people, they can succeed if they have the team around him. He's going to have two amazingly good wide receivers around him. You know what I mean? Like, and TJ Hawkinson is a top 3-5 tight end in the league. Their offensive line played a lot better last year. You know,
they have Aaron
Jones. Let's not forget they have Aaron Jones there. You know what I mean? That guy can run the ball a little bit.
A little bit.
Sadness.
I just really hope that a couple games he misses next year, because we know he'll miss them, are both against the Packers.
Yeah.
That one was tough for me. I loved that dude until he did that move, and then I was just like, it didn't make sense for me.
I don't know.
I wasn't surprised.
It still was. I'm still a little surprised by it from the standpoint of ultimately financially they netted $5 million, which they haven't even spent.
My thing, as far as Aaron Jones is concerned, is like there are two teams at that time that could use a running back in your home state. There's two of them, not even just one. There's two teams in your home state that could use a running back one.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't go to either one.
Yeah. I don't know. I still look at it and go, because for that brief 45 minutes, everyone in the world thought we had the best running back room in the history of anything, right?
Such a nice.
That was a really fun hour.
And then all of a sudden he was cut. And ultimately, like looking at the numbers, what did they really net? Well, they netted $5 million. So then the question for me, like that I asked myself was, if Aaron Jones were out there right now, because his compensation could be equal to what you net by not having him employed, would you sign him to a 1-year, $5 million deal to be a co-pilot with Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
I think some people would. Which case, then why are you cutting him? Because why not just retain him, since you're only getting $5 million anyway, unless it comes down to a cash calculation, which the Packers do not have problems with cash.
They said they offered him down to 7, and he said no.
Yeah, from what I saw, it was like it got up to 7 through like the incentives and a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be like a pure 7 plus then incentives and stuff. But I don't know. I still look at it from the Packers standpoint of, you got $5 million. Why is that big enough to cut him? In my opinion, still, it's no, not really. I probably would have wrote out this year at running back.
Yeah, when I seen the signing, I knew there was something going to happen. Everyone was freaking out. I was like, I don't think this means it's good for us. I think Aaron Jones is going. And actually, I said in our group chat right after they cut Aaron Jones after the sign, I said they better turn around and sign Xavier McKinney, or everyone's going to lose their minds. And luckily,
I think, I don't know, like once like a half an hour's passed and you get past like that sucks. Like nobody wanted to lose Aaron Jones. Like you can see the rationale behind the GM's decision to move on from Aaron Jones. Like it makes sense. Yeah. And as much as it sucks, and Jones is a huge part of the Packers organization, he's probably going to go in the Ring of Honor. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a smart move to get rid of him a year before things get, could get really bad. And, maybe it was just the, what do you call it? It was in the stars or whatever.
I mean, I very much understand why it occurred. Yeah. And I saw like the arguments out there too about like, would people feel so strongly if his really successful run was weeks 2 through 7 and not the end of the year in the playoffs? Like, I get it. I still just look at the question of, would I have paid Aaron Jones $5 million this year? Yeah, I probably would have, and I would have kept him on the roster from that standpoint. So, and that's just like my personal opinion on it.
I agree with
fair.
Josh. Josh said it's better to be early than late. I agree with that.
I thought, and I know it's not a straight 1-for-1, or it's not a straight swap, but if you told me, hey, this offseason we're going to sign Josh Jacobs and Xavier McKinney, but we're going to have to let go of Aaron Jones, do you do that move? I think we all emphatically say yes. Like, I don't think you hesitate. So,
and I think the only thing that that trips me up with that is I would do that move as well, but ultimately financially they could have kept them all too.
Yeah, I 100% on the table with you. And I thought they overpaid Nixon, and I thought they could have gave some of that money to Aaron Jones. But.
Yeah,
I agree with that 100%. I've never been a big fan of Nixon.
Yeah,
no.
But I see a couple comments in here about talking about how Aaron Jones wanted to be number one. He still wanted to be a feature back. Agreed, understood, 100%. Yet, he was under contract for this 1 year. So if the Packers really wanted to go get Josh Jacobs and then tell Aaron Jones, you're going to be in a little bit more of a rotation, we think that it's going to help prolong your career.
This honestly, would have been a much more of a rotation he's already been in. Him and Dylan pretty much split carries.
Right. So, ultimately, because he was already under contract, it's not like he would have a tremendous say over it anyway.
Yeah.
And at that time, I don't think Aaron Jones would throw a fit if they would have paid him. But I very much understand.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing at the comment in the back chat. Simon.
And there goes.
The show got better. The show got better when you left.
We got Cammy saying Aaron Jones is older, faster, and has better moves than Jacobs.
I kind of agree with that. I don't think it's like an upgrade necessarily.
I think moving forward it will be. Years 2, 3, 4 of Jacobs, but this 1 year, I don't know. I think Jones is probably more agile than Jacobs, but I'm not sure I'd say at this juncture that he's faster than Jacobs.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you, but the NFL Network just had a graphic, and his strengths were winner, Alex Smith, efficiency. To me, that's not worth a first round pick to me.
Hey, John, can you let Jake out of his timeout? There we go.
Thank you.
You leave, you don't get to come back.
Hey, when my daughter asks for something, she's going to get it.
Open the door.
This house.
Open the door.
I don't care.
Wait until she's a teenager and you start telling her no on stuff.
Yeah. My daughter's 9.
Now, do you think that no stands? No. Yeah. No means she's going to keep asking again.
Yeah.
Have kids.
It's like a you problem. I'm not having
Everybody
kids.
who has kids knows that.
Cody said, imagine dressing up in suits and high-fiving for McCarthy.
Sad day.
You never know.
The Vikings got Nitter.
They just traded up for a game manager. That's just hilarious to me.
Yep.
What do you think Jets do? Do you think the Jets do a wide receiver here or a tight end for Aaron?
We had them picking Rome Odunze.
Oh, come on. This guy's out of his mind. Did you see the comparison he just gave JJ McCarthy?
Alex
CJ
Smith?
Stroud.
No.
Oh, no. Don't Jets still need O-line help?
No.
They need O-line, and
I know they signed some free agents there, but
they signed Tyron Smith from the Cowboys.
And then Morgan Moses, I think they brought back too.
That sounds right.
They signed some people, they signed people that are older and injured.
JJ McCarthy and CJ Stroud in the same sentence.
But
I cannot believe that comparison. How do you
that is awful. Oh my god.
Just people were comparing Williams to Aaron Rodgers. I was like, dude.
No.
How do you compare him to one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game?
JJ McCarthy is a Ford Focus, okay? Stroud is a Lamborghini. We're not doing this. I really don't think JJ McCarthy's that good. Call me a hater.
They had one really vanilla white guy before they just wanted another one.
I wasn't gonna go there, bro.
It's okay, I can say because I'm a vanilla white guy.
Yeah, Kevin Kebble's asking, if anybody feels like sharing, any of you play Madden and on what system?
You don't want this smoke, bro. You don't want this smoke, bro. You don't want this smoke. I'm telling you right now. I'm warning you.
Jake be like, Tuesday.
Special team, special player, special plays. So I coach my son in Y football, and I have a play called "What's up, brother?"
Oh my god!
I think I'm too boomer for this conversation.
I mean, dude, I'm around a bunch of 11-year-olds. I have to be a little hip.
Boomer,
I play on Xbox, by the way. My gamer tag is Wisco Fanatics because we're just trying to get the brand out there.
Oh, fitting, yeah.
Tyler's is Wisco Fanatics, so
that's awesome.
So when you die to us in Fortnite, just know you got Wisco Fanatics.
Yeah, you know who it is.
Yeah, we play Fortnite every night.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like we'll play 2-3 games before we go to bed.
Because you keep getting killed by what's that weapon that's out right now that I haven't taken a week off because I'm
the waterbending.
Yeah, wrecked by waterbending.
I lost waterbending.
I love it. Not against me though. When they're shooting me from 400 meters away.
Well, yeah.
What are we talking about right now?
Okay,
there you go.
I mean that makes sense.
Good pick.
Yeah, good pick.
Yep.
He was my second tackle.
Christopher said, "Remember when you were a kid, you got a lame present, but you still had to act like you were thankful for it." That's the reaction on K-Fan right now.
That's a good analogy. I like that.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Good pick for the Jets. Smart pick for the Jets.
Ooh, Kamikaze, I like your last comment. Everyone's loading up on quarterbacks because they're afraid.
Yep.
I like that.
Hell yeah.
I like that.
It's a good thing when you're in a position to where the other teams in the division are trying to match your level of talent at QB. Yep. And we've been very fortunate to be in that position for the last 30 years now.
I want all the quarterbacks and wide receivers to go before the Packers. Push all the other players down.
Yes.
Yep.
How many offensive players is that now? All the picks are offensive?
Yes, so far.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the over-under in Vegas was 21.5 offensive players in the first round. And we're at 11 already.
Well, and that's part of the rationale as to why DeGene could be there at 25, because this draft is so tilted that, like, in other years, DeGene might be going higher, but this year he's not going to, maybe.
Yeah. Who do you think the first defensive player that's going to be taken?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Dallas Turner.
Because I think that's a very interesting.
Yeah, I would say Turner.
I'd say edge rusher is above corner in terms of importance.
Okay, it's Denver.
And let's be honest, Atlanta drafting Penix Jr. at 8, like, that's a good thing for us. Like, we want that to happen. We don't want him to fall past us.
We want some team to get desperate and grab Bo Nix.
Exactly.
I want that. You think Denver does it?
They could.
I think he's in already. That's
Vegas
crazy.
can do it too.
Yeah,
they could. Yeah, Vegas could do it.
Bro,
what about LA? Like someone that has like a little bit of an aging quarterback.
That's a sleeper pick too, where he can sit behind Stafford for like a year or two.
They're replacing Donald, dude.
I feel like they're taking Byron Murphy.
I
want him to
Murphy,
but I mean, supposedly the Rams earlier today were trying to get into the top 10.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, really? I
They
didn't
were
see that.
calling around. Yeah.
Interesting.
Kevin Keble saying, speaking of Stroud, I may have to go. Are J-Lo and CJ live? Also, I'm so bad at Fortnite. My partner said, no, that's okay. You don't have to join. You can stay.
Oh, dang.
Man, I'm lucky that Tyler plays with me because I am terrible. Tyler carries. He hard carries. He'll have like 9 kills. I'll have 1. And I'm like, sorry, dude, I died twice. You had to revive me.
I'm going to have to come help you out, I think, Tyler.
He always steals my kills. So I'll end with like assists. And he'll get all the eliminations.
Does it show damage
when that happens? Because we'd be fist fighting.
You got to compare damage at the end of the round. Just
do they show damage? I don't play Fortnite.
No, it's not like on Call of Duty. Remember where they did the change where if you did the most damage, like you got credit for the kill. Fortnite, I like to shoot someone for 240 damage, and my brother will shoot him for 10 and get the kill.
They still count for me.
Hey, have you hit your brother up yet?
Me?
Yeah.
He's happy with JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
My other Vikings.
weird.
So just a little background. I live in North Dakota, so all my family and friends are all Minnesota fans. But I was smart,
My family
job.
is Minnesota too.
Yeah. So some of my friends were like,
and I'll be winners.
they were all freaking out. Why? That was dumb. Why they trade up? They didn't understand. They were obviously doing that so Denver didn't move up. But they're like, well, they could have just stayed there and got Bo Nix instead. I'm like, Bo Nix is, as much as we don't like JJ McCarthy, Bo Nix is I think he's not going to really be much. He's probably destined to be.
Yeah, talking about like ceilings and stuff. I think he's about at his ceiling.
Yeah,
because he's played a ton of football too.
I think he was at 3 different schools too, didn't he?
Auburn,
just 2.
Just Auburn, Oregon, I believe.
Okay. I know he was in college for like 5 years.
I got Gary saying, we know Jones is a family man. I think he went to Minnesota because he didn't want to move to Texas to play football. Can't fault him for that.
I did see some about that, but like now he wouldn't have to move his kids as far. Like that was part of the equation, that he wanted to stay in the region, and that was like a big part of the Minnesota move. Good for him. Like I get it. I don't know. I don't feel like Aaron Jones going to Minnesota was a spite move, like we have seen other Packers do in the past. Like I just felt like it was Minnesota needed a running back. He wanted to stay close for family. They had the money to pay him. I don't know. I didn't feel like it was spite. I think it was just his best choice.
I agree with that. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy either.
Yeah.
Just from like his interactions with the media and how much he likes of our fan base and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I know he was hurt, but I don't know. It just didn't strike me as a spite move like we've seen before. I think it just was the best circumstance he could get his family into.
So Chris is very happy they got JJ McCarthy without trading the number 23rd pick. So
that's true too.
Yeah.
And what we did in our mock is now obviously Jackson Powers Johnson. He didn't have the injury stuff at the time, but when we did our mock, we had them getting JJ McCarthy at 11 and then taking a center at 23. So that's still on the board for them. Because we thought maybe, hey, you get your quarterback and your center, and because Bradbury was trash. So, but we'll see. Now that this gives them, for JJ to fall that far, this gives them a chance to kind of, play around a little bit at 23.
Yeah.
Got Joseph saying cornerback, edge, and defensive lineman are next positions to get picked.
Psych.
Cornerback, edge. I mean, it's going to be soon. I mean, like, we're going to see Arnold and Mitchell go real soon. And then I think same with Dallas Turner.
Yeah, this is going to be a run.
At 12.
We could see a little bit of a wait for Byron Murphy, though. The first, true interior D lineman.
Denver could go pretty much right here.
Too.
So you see everybody wearing those big-ass hats now. And I wanted one when they first came out, but then I looked at the price. Hell no.
Which big hats?
I don't see the
huge one. I think they're ugly. I would be so mad if I was sitting behind someone with that thing on their head.
Dude, they're like $300.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I see your comments, Steve. This is a very good
I know who the pick is. Really up.
It's Bo Nix.
I mean, that's great for us. It's great for Green Bay.
Yep, that's exactly what's good for us.
Yes. Let all of the defenders fall.
Let's go.
Let all the players fall.
Let's see, just catching up on a few here. Captain Kebble's saying everyone is retweeting the Caleb Williams "I love the Packers, I love being a Packers fan" tweets on my feed. I mean, if he were to tweet it out now, that would be noseworthy. I love that. To Joseph saying add Gary, Aaron Jones is from Texas, I'm pretty sure originally. Yeah, he's from the El Paso area.
Yeah.
I think Gary was saying more along the lines of like keeping his family here now, like as opposed to where he's from. Captain Kebble's the skull was spite, signing was business. My take on Jones. I think no matter where Aaron Jones was going to go, it was going to be he was going to fully embrace that team's traditions, fan stuff. Like that's just who he is, in my opinion. Like he knows how to play that game well, and I would have been shocked if he wouldn't have completely bought in on the Minnesota side of things at that first presser.
And like,
it's not like he really talked bad about Green Bay or anything in the presser. He did this goal and then he pretty much left at that. It was disgusting for us all to see, for sure. Yeah, but like, now we just got to beat him twice a year, and that's.
But to me, it was much more playing to his new fan base than it was taking a shot at his old one.
Yeah.
Jake, you got something to say?
Yeah, I got something to say. I would agree with your take because that's very well thought out.
Okay.
But if he didn't sign so quickly, I think there's a little spite in there because he signed so quickly with the Vikings. Like, he literally turned around and was like, oh, they want me? Oh, I got to play Green Bay twice? I think it could be both. I think a little bit of it is he wanted to go against the Packers to kind of prove that he still had something. He was worth the money. He didn't want to take the pay cut because he was still good, which we all know that, right? But also, it's not a bad spot. You don't have to play in weather for half the year. You have JJ taking pressure off you and Addison. So, I mean, it's not a bad spot for him.
I personally do think he should have went. Maybe he should have really considered. Maybe he didn't want to play with, the coach anymore. But he probably should have went to Dallas because I think it was a better opportunity for him to actually close his career out with having a chance to play in the playoffs again. I don't think Minnesota's on that level, even with JJ. Even if JJ pans out, they're still a year or two away from the playoffs, probably, in my opinion, and he won't be part of that equation.
I mean, like, I tend to agree with you, Jake, except the one thing that I would say different is when the Packers released him, free agency had already begun, money was drying up. And I think his agent was basically saying, hey, Minnesota's offering 7 right now. You wait until tomorrow, this might become 5 because they're like teams are moving. And the Packers very purposefully put Jones out like after, like, they wanted to secure Jacobs and then let go of Jones. The unfortunate thing for Jones was that means that he got cut after a lot of money was gone. And I think he just jumped at what money he could get yet.
That's fair. That's a good way to think about it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cammy's saying, I believe Goot can make players feel spiteful when their necks are on the block. I don't picture Goot as being very diplomatic.
I think Goot is – I think he gets that reputation, in my personal opinion, because I think he's very cold. Mm-hmm. I think he is just extremely – like, in press conferences, he talks about how Aaron Jones is the engine of the franchise, and then they get into the negotiating table, and he looks across the table at Aaron Jones's agent and goes, here's the deal. We have an evaluation of $4.25 million on Aaron Jones. We are not to exceed that by even $1. He's only played in 5 games this year, 7 games last year, and he's rushed for this many yards. We don't believe he's capable moving forward. Projecting forward, we think he's going to get 700 yards a year. Yeah. And then the agent and Jones are like, whoa, like, that's me. You're a jerk. And Goot's like, yeah, but I'm right.
That's exactly what you want out of a GM. You want someone that can separate relationships from business. Because what happens when you have those? You have Jerry Jones doing the type of crap where he's signing freaking Leighton Vander Esch or whatever, extensions and everything else, giving Zeke Elliott way too much money where he was literally on the downhill slide every year, like getting worse. I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken. Like, you want someone that can separate that.
Yeah, and I think that that's just why.
What happened, Tyler? Tyler
gets the reputation that.
Dude, I'd be so pissed if I was a Raiders fan.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was waiting for you guys to finish talking, and I was gonna say the
having
same
like
thing.
6 tight ends be better than him just to draft another tight end the following year.
Oh
and not having a quarterback.
Oh,
they have Aiden O'Connell.
I forgot they took Mayer last year. But they probably didn't expect 6 or how many quarterbacks? 5 quarterbacks to go in before them.
That's hilarious to me.
But how do you? I don't know. To me, he's not even the best player on the board still.
No, they should have went defense here or something else.
There's like 4 or 5 defenders that I would take before him.
You think about pairing Dallas with Max Crosby, like something like that.
I mean, they did that. They already matched somebody with Crosby.
Who did they bring in?
Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, but he plays interior.
Yeah, and you can't double team on the interior and the edge.
Exactly. Then if you put Dallas on the edge too, like over Bowser or whatever.
Didn't they draft that kid out of Texas Tech last year?
Yeah.
The heck's his name? I can't remember his name.
Oh,
Miles Murphy.
I can't think of last year.
They drafted an edge last year.
No, they drafted someone else. Not Will Anderson. God, what was that kid's name?
I just don't think tight end is. I mean, it's good value.
I don't agree with the pick, but I also don't think they need an edge. I think they could have drafted a freaking quarterback, but
could have won quarterback.
Tyree Wilson.
They could have
Tyree Wilson. That's who it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they could have.
Kevin Kittle
Definitely
saying,
could've went
as a
line there,
GM, I
too.
love Goody, but he's the guy who will fire you the day before Christmas Eve, then smile and talk to your wife and kids and act like a part of the family when they come over. Brutal, but effective.
Because
Okay.
I think he's incredibly good at compartmentalizing and just saying, like, I love you as a person. I project you're going to get 500 yards rushing this year. That makes you worth this to me, and I will not pay more. I
Go
still like
elsewhere and
you.
prove me wrong. Who was it
Yeah.
last year that they tweeted out happy birthday to him and then they cut him the same day?
Yes. yep,
Jonathan
on his
Garvin, wasn't
birthday,
that?
Yes.
And then now, anytime that it's a dude's birthday, all of the comments on Facebook and Twitter are like, "Oh no!"
But I think that's almost a strength. It's like he doesn't let any, especially the fan base. He doesn't let any fan base, like, he doesn't give a crap about our feelings.
Mhm.
No,
Yep.
nor
I would
should
prefer
he.
it that way.
There shouldn't be any emotion
Exactly.
in any of
Yep.
the plays that he's making.
Yep.
This is
I
wild.
would
Not a
run.
defender has gotten off the board.
Wow.
Hasn't been a single defender off the board yet.
Yeah. Cammy is saying, might the Packers get the top pass rusher in the draft now?
Turner reverse.
I mean,
If Turner
yeah,
falls to
at that
us,
point.
I think
I will.
I don't know.
will
There's
go
going to be a
shitless the
run.
rest of this year.
Yeah, in my thought, the only way that would happen is if they fall to 16 or 17, we trade up and take them. I don't think one of those are falling to us there. Now, however, you start to maybe fall in the realm of, do you want to take a chance on Latu, someone that could have a huge high ceiling, but the injury history or so.
I personally would be really surprised if Latu is even on the Packers board.
Yeah.
I
They're pretty tight when it comes to injuries. So
right
Now, the two that I'm looking at as far as defenders go, because I don't think Quinion Mitchell is going to make it there. Right now, I'm looking at Cooper DeJean and Byron Murphy. I'm hoping one of those two makes it to 25.
Yeah, I think Philly might fall in love with Cooper at 22.
Yeah.
And that's why I was saying if Green Bay wants Cooper, they might have to slide up to 20 or 21.
I like Pittsburgh for Cooper too.
yeah.
To run with
Either a
Minka
Raider, I like,
Fitzpatrick.
or a Steeler. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I could see Philly or
So we got Don Welsh saying, hey, Jon, Claudia, and Wisco guys, listening since the start. Good time.
Awesome.
Glad you're enjoying.
Good.
How about
Thanks,
trade
Don.
down at 25 for Junior Colson? What about Will Shipley at running back?
Colson, I'm good with Colson in round 2. I think 20. Right. I know you're saying like trade out of 25 to get Colson. Colson, like I did say at the top, I actually like him maybe a lot more than consensus for the Packers side of things, because that's the type of linebacker that they need. Most of the other linebackers, I feel, are at least semi-redundant. But still, just like value-wise, I don't know. I'd go round 2. I think the Packers are also going to be very scared by Colson's lack of testing. And they didn't bring him in for a top 30 to test him privately. Like in Goot's history, it's been, I think out of all of his first round draft picks, there's been like one guy who missed one test. The rest have had full test cards. So it would be very strange to see Goot like just pick a guy on faith, especially in later round 1. But I do like Colson. Shipley at running back, he'd be fun. Like we can say that. I mean, he does meet a lot of their size parameters. He would probably, it's maybe become their third down back in lieu of Jacobs at times. But because he's got the receiving acumen for sure. So I think he's possible for one of those mid-round type running backs.
Yeah, I like Colson out like our second round pick or in that area. If we had to trade up a little bit, I wouldn't want him early second round or nothing, to be honest.
Yeah,
I like Will Shipley a lot as a fit, and we can kind of go back and forth on like our kind of needs at running back and stuff, but I think he'd fit right in as like the change of pace pass catcher guy. He has 85 catches in 3 years, and I think that's something that we can just kind of a plug and play him as our RB2.
Yep.
I think Green Bay likes him, like his his athleticism and size a lot as well.
Yeah. When you get a player like that on the roster, you can start to do really fun things with them too. Like you start lining up, Jaden Reed and Will Shipley in the backfield together, and like then split them out. You know how Matt LaFleur likes to do a bunch of crazy different kind of formations and stuff. Really kind of opens up what you can do from that, that set.
I mean, you can trot out like Watson, Wicks, Reed, and Shipley, and then Musgrave on an offensive formation, and then just watch the defense go, ooh. It'll just
that's why, dude, that's why I keep saying it. Like, I'm going to say it again. Like, I don't feel the need to have a wide receiver one. I don't care about it. Personally, this is what I believe is that people's desire to have a quote-unquote wide receiver one stems from a fantasy football, Madden football mindset. Yeah. In the real NFL, having 6 different guys that can be your wide receiver one any given week presents more frustration and problems for opposing defenses than having Devontae Adams, who can then be, Bill Belichick game plan of taking your number one guy out and then forcing you to win with everybody else. If you have 5 guys you can win with in 5 different games, and each game it'd be a different guy that you use to win, that's a nightmare for defenses.
Can't double up on that.
The only thing that I wish that they would have that I just don't think they fully have is a go up and get it end zone guy. Like that is like the one element of their receiving game that I think they're missing.
Yeah. I really like Fuaga too.
Yeah. As far as your red zone
offensive players, dude.
Big man guy, dude. I think can be that guy, but I think Romeo Doubs has actually done a really great job in the red zone.
He has. Well, and he's probably their strongest handed receiver. Like I would agree with that totally. But I guess what I have in mind, to be a little bit more specific, is a throw it up on a goal line fade and go get it kind of guy.
I would use Musgrave for that.
Doubs, I don't think Musgrave has shown enough from a contested catch standpoint yet to be that.
Maybe not.
He's got the size.
For looking at guys on the roster.
Yeah, like he's got the size, but and Doubs has shown the contested catch ability, but not necessarily the ups to consistently be that in the end zone. I think that
used to be great at contested catches.
Yeah, we haven't really even talked about Tucker Kraft either. I mean, he's not necessarily the jump guy too. It's just another person they have on the offense that just showed exactly what he can be.
What I mean? And like that's what I was just talking about earlier with like why I could see Xavier Legette. That's how he's different than the rest. Because like Legette they could put in and he could be that guy right now.
Yep.
And that's the one element that I think if you're looking at a fully complete arsenal, because I very much agree with your premise, Tyler, like what they have is more valuable ultimately.
Yeah.
But like if we want to talk about like just being short of perfect, that's like the one element that I look at and just go, that's the one thing that I could see them pursuing, because that's like the one clear-cut perfect thing that I just don't know is if they've got on the roster right now.
So on contested catches, because I was thinking about Romeo Doubs too, just off of last year, he had 28 contested catches against, and he caught 15 of them.
Okay.
It's over 50%. That's solid.
Yeah. I think for contested catches, that's a pretty good percentage.
Yeah,
it is. And that's like he does have realistically the strongest hands out of any wide receiver on the team.
Yes, I agree.
I would say he is the best in contested catches. I just mean he's not Watson's size, right?
Yeah,
he's not going to out jump many in the end zone. He's not. I guess what I'm looking for is put Dobbs's hand on Watson's size.
Yeah.
And then that's the one thing that they're missing.
If you could take Romeo Doubs' ability to be physical and jump through defenders, which Watson hasn't really shown, he kind of shows a little timid, or he gets pushed out of the way. That'd be like perfect line for us right now.
Yeah, that's what Jimmy Graham was supposed to be years ago. Like that's.
Oh, great! Thanks for making me think.
Okay, so just because I wanted to, I guess, go look up comparisons because this is what I do for. To look at like the whole picture, I guess, for receivers that had at least 98 targets. So I went about 50%. Romeo Doubs was 4th in the league in contested catch percentage.
Damn.
That's awesome. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
James is a Saints fan. He said sadness becomes me. James, I don't know why. Talize Fuaga, that's a great.
I was going to ask if James is still in here. That's a great pick for you guys, man.
Yeah,
I know you wanted another skill position, but you can't score unless you win up front. I talk about it all the time, man. You got to win in the trenches, man. So
James, go ahead. Sorry.
Unless James is like, were you rooting for a true tackle? Because Fuaga might kick
right
inside.
tackle in the draft. And I think he's the best run blocking tackle in the draft. I love the pick.
Sure.
Yeah,
I read a lot that like Fuaga very well might get kicked inside.
God.
Really?
I saw that
and just
too.
make him like a Quentin Nelson style guard, like a road grader clearing the way, as opposed to keeping him at tackle.
I mean, you could do a lot worse than a Quentin Nelson. I'll just say that.
Well, for sure, for sure. I'm just trying to think like why he might be sad, because maybe
I love
maybe he
the
wanted a true tackle with Rychek being potentially out.
I hate news articles like this. Kirk Cousins was not given a heads up that Atlanta would be taking Michael Penix.
Who cares?
Yeah,
He was given $100 million so he can go cry in his $100 bills.
There you go.
Yeah.
Players
It's
are
literally
not
that
sure,
gif of the
nor should
dude.
they be.
Truth.
Cammy is saying Watson had a nice contested touchdown last season where he had to jump to get it.
Yep,
See,
that's
and
true.
with Watson's build, it'd be nice if he could get there more.
It's a matter of consistency and positioning.
Mhm.
And too often we saw it where for a guy of his size and what should be his ability in that regard, he was falling off of defensive backs. Like the perfect example is the Vegas game, like the game-ending pick, when a corner who's like 5'9" made a play on the ball because Watson was falling backwards. I know some people want to like blame that throw. Others just say that like it was partly Watson's route. Whatever. When Watson's got damn near like 8 inches on the corner in front of him, I want to see him fight.
Yeah.
I think he did better in the second half of the season. Like we actually broke down a couple of plays about it. The one in the Chiefs game was flawless, and that was a great throw, like an amazing, insane throw. But the one in the Lions game, because he jumped like a step earlier than the defensive back, so he was first in the air.
Yeah, the first play of the game.
Yeah. No.
Okay.
It was the touchdown that he had. Maybe it was the
No, you're talking about the first play of the game. The touchdown he had, he didn't really have to.
That was just an over-the-shoulder catch.
Oh,
The contested one was the first play of the game.
Yep, first play of the game.
One
They went
play
deep right
that
away.
he had. Maybe it was against the Chargers? It was a blue team. I know it was a blue team.
He did have a crazy catch against the Chargers as well, and that's
He had one
got hurt on
contested
that
catch
play.
in the left half of the end zone, where he jumped a step earlier than the DB and allowed him to be first to the ball.
All right, are the Colts going Arnold here, or do you think they go Quinyon?
I think they're going Mitchell.
I think that's
I
gotta
agree.
be
I think they're going
Quinyon.
Quinyon Mitchell.
Corner.
I don't know. It's
Wow.
crazy though. They might not have thought some of these pass rushers would have been there too at this point.
I still
Maybe they
think-
do go with Turner. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael,
I want to see
Michael
the surprise
says Arnold.
dump pick.
Okay.
Oh, hey, cheeseheads.
Hey, go
Hey.
back, go, eh?
Hey,
Hey, guy.
there's our people.
Hey there.
If you wear the cheese on the head, I like you.
Here, you can
I don't like you guys. Get off my screen.
That's fair.
Take a
Alright,
red- take a
we're
wide
waiting for the
receiver.
Colts to finalize
That's what
their
I was
pick.
thinking. I was like, take Adonai Mitchell.
Oh,
Or,
Let's go for
Ooh,
30.
Martin said let's trade with Seattle.
We don't have to right now.
There's been plenty of rumors that even earlier today, Jacob Morley tweeted out that the scuttlebutt is still that Green Bay was talking to Seattle.
I don't agree.
We might not have
There's
to.
a lot of value there at 16 right now. I'm telling you that. So.
Yeah, I come up and get darn near any defender you want.
Oh, spoiler alert, Michael.
Thanks, Michael.
Michael, you
Oh,
gotta wait.
Spoilers.
Wow.
Come on, man.
Wow.
Jeez, Michael. God, everybody
Yeah,
get on
you gotta
Mickey's
say
face right now.
Michael.
All right, the draft is ruined.
Shame.
Shame.
You're not even one of my people, Michael, and you're in the
I'm
negative
just kidding,
pile.
Michael.
Oh no. Oh, there you go. Now one of your people did it too.
After the pick, it was after
that's
we
true.
announced
I haven't
it,
seen the
so she
pick yet.
doesn't-
Goodell's announcing it right now.
Thank you, Cammy.
Okay, so when we did our mock draft, I said I wanted us to trade up to 16 with Seattle to take Arnold. This could, we'll see. I
You're good,
still
Michael.
think
it might
cost too much for us
I'm
to do
just
that.
giving you shit.
It's okay.
I'm just giving you shit, man. I appreciate you. You know how I roll.
Take a 5-minute timeout, Michael. I'm just kidding.
But Kamikaze, you're right. Like Latu won't be a Packer. It ends that. And like I said earlier, like I would have been very surprised if he was on the board. Like those.
I mean,
some
his
of those
ceiling is
injuries
huge.
he's had are scary.
If he doesn't get hurt, his ceiling is huge.
if he didn't
Yeah.
get hurt, he'd be a top 10 pick easily.
Easy.
He's
All
my
right,
number
so
one
we're
edge
gonna
rusher.
Yeah. Wasn't
They're
his
gonna pair him
other
up with
college
the
coach that said he's going to have to retire?
Justin said, read the room, Michael. Yes, we are messing with Michael. Michael's one of our bigger fans, which we appreciate.
Michael, don't do it again.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Thanks. Nice to meet you.
I promise we're nice.
Please like and follow.
And subscribe on Patreon. Which he has.
Sunglasses day.
Michael
Oh, by the
has,
way-
has subscribed to our Patreon.
Yeah, just to do a self plug here for our people, or your guys' people too. There's going to be an announcement tomorrow, probably during the draft, about something that we're starting in the Patreon world of things. So stay tuned
Nice.
and support, please.
Sounds like a ripoff of ours, but just throwing that out there.
Trying to steal your thunder.
It's not my fault. We're well
We're not
timed on things.
announcing it.
We'll take credit for your inspiration.
That's fine. That's fine.
No,
You can
that's
have
awesome.
credit.
Good timing.
Joseph, to answer your question, to jump up to 16,
I was
would
pulling it
be
up right now. 305.
probably
So the Packers would have to give up 75 points in value.
you probably would have to do something like 25 and 58.
25
For
and 58
Seattle's-
could, if you did that, you could also get something back.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was getting to. So you would
Yeah.
probably have to do like 25 and 58 for Seattle, 16, and then like their fourth.
Well,
Something
Mr.
in
Bozo
that world.
saying that you might as well move up to draft that long snapper that we always do.
Man! Don't you say a miserable goat. Nuh-uh.
The kicker?
Kicker. Let's do punter. Again, we
can-
need some competition.
I can try to justify a lot of things. That's not something.
But yeah, that's ballpark what you're looking at. It probably would take your first one of your later second, and then Seattle would give you a 16 and something.
Yeah.
Throw in David Putney. Call it a day.
David Putney. Yep. David Putney.
All right.
my six pack, and I
question
want
for you
David
guys.
Putney, you pancake eating motherfucker. That was
Jesus.
that's what he says in the movie. It's a PG-13
That's a
movie.
quote. Yeah.
You get one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie, and that's what they used it on.
No, I'm not PG-13, so
Oh, boy.
Trying to keep
All right.
this show PG-13. I
Who
think
is
that's
somebody
fair.
that you guys want the Packers to avoid like the plague?
Kieran Omega G.
Really?
Yes.
that's what I thought earlier when he said it. I was like, really? Like, I don't know. That's kind of surprising.
It's interesting.
Really?
In
He was
general,
one of
or
the
like first
first
round.
offensive linemen that I scouted, and I'm like, don't like him, and my opinion has not changed in a month and a half.
Mine is Amarius Mims, and I don't know why.
Really?
Is it his lack of play?
Probably.
As far as Omega G is concerned, if they draft him after the 5th round, then I'd be okay with it. But if before the 5th round, no.
Really? Okay. All right. Avoid like the plague. Like, I mean, I would get it, but I guess I'm going to go with Guyton over Mims because
okay
I
with
think
that
Mims
also.
is the higher ceiling.
I would love both. Of
I think
those
Mims
guys.
is the higher ceiling, but Guyton's played darn near as little as Mims has. Plus, there's a lot of talk out there about how Guyton doesn't even have right-left versatility. Like, he might be a right tackle only for a first rounder. No, I'm good. So I would say like that's Guyton for me is the one that I want to avoid the most.
I think for me, and Tyler and I have had this conversation before when we were scouting our edges. I think I would go with Jared Verse. He gets way too much love. I don't know. I don't understand the love for him. I think he's overvalued. In my
I
opinion.
don't think he'd fit with Green Bay anyway.
Yeah, he's just. That's kind of how I feel about him.
I would rather have Chop Robinson than Jared Verse.
No, 100%. 7 days a week for me.
Would have to give up their late second round pick and their first to get to 16. Yeah, and it would be that, and they'd probably get something late back.
Yeah, Tyler, it sounds like you're looking on the Rich Hill trade chart.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, that's the one I've got here too. Okay.
Yep.
Hey,
I don't know.
sometimes, every once in a while, I get one of those. I like that. It doesn't happen often. Like one out of every 1,000 things I say, but every once in a while, you know.
Enjoy it, Jake.
Right?
Thank you. I'm gonna soak this one in.
Oh, did they just say that the Seattle pick was in and then go to commercial?
Yes.
Yeah, because it's going to take
That-
forever to actually say
It's
it.
like Nikola Jokic back in the day. Don't
Rude.
forget. He got drafted during a Taco Bell commercial.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'll go with. I don't particularly love Darius Robinson from
Justin said
Missouri.
Jake paid me to be here. That's awesome.
Hey, you don't tell them that.
Simon, I like that a lot. Do you want to expound on the why?
I just don't like him as a fit. I don't think he's necessarily a bad player. I just don't think he'd particularly fit well. And he's like a weird size, and between what we have, I don't think he'd offer anything more than Green Bay already has.
I feel like I agree. He's a weird size. He's realistically kind of a tweener. They'd probably play him at tackle. Yeah. But if they're going to go with a weird tweener, give me 20-year-old Michael Hall Jr. instead and do it around later than Darius Robinson.
Yep.
I agree.
I think Darius Robinson has some potential. I mean, obviously not the same player, but some potential in the way of like Aaron Donald being like a game wrecker who's a little bit lighter, who still plays inside. I think he's got that potential. I also see a world of bust potential with Darius Robinson too, from the standpoint of there's a reason those guys haven't always worked historically. Whereas I look at Michael Hall Jr. and it's a little bit different because he is lighter. And if he doesn't work on the interior, then I'm going to look at him and go, all right, almost the Kobe Wooden opposite of slim down, bulk up. Now you're kicking to edge because I want your speed and first step to come off the edge instead.
That's the thing. He's fast.
And I feel a lot better about that than I do looking at Darius Robinson, who's tilting on the overside of things, asking him to gain weight or be an Aaron Donald comp versus a guy who might just get washed out because he can't get through NFL blocks. Yeah, he's another avoid for me.
I made a fan with Gary.
It's good.
All right. So that's who you want to avoid. What's the opposite? What's your which prospect has a little place in your heart?
Cooper.
Let me.
Not even a Cooper.
Brian Thomas.
I knew.
I'm not even joking you.
Can you please shut up?
Joking you.
Please shut up. I'm being nice, like I'm talking to my children. Please shut up.
You're saying please. It's nice.
All right. So hold on.
Yeah, it's Cooper. 1,000%. But yeah, go ahead.
Even not.
John and Claudia weren't here for my rambling, so you get to hear it twice, Jake.
Jeez, I'm gonna mute him.
Claudia, give Simon the Tony Reale mute button. Give him -1 point at 10-second mute.
What's better than one Christian Watson, two Christian Watsons? Could you imagine 2 6'4" dudes sprinting full speed down? I'm just saying, it would be lovely.
I mean, it makes sense. Like I get it. He's just not my top. I'd way rather have Cooper.
Dude, please stop with this nonsense. Okay. We have a 6'4" guy in Tucker Kraft who's not a wide receiver, but he's very fast. We have a 6'6" guy named Luke Musgrave who didn't get to play an entire rookie season because of a freak injury. And he's very fast.
Yeah.
We didn't get to see what he could do. So we have that capability. We just haven't seen it to its full potential. Also, Jordan Love basically played half a year, if you really think about it, right? Like, he was kind of wishy-washy in the first half. Second half, he looked like an all-pro. That's what we're kind of expecting going into the new year. Yeah. We don't need a wide receiver.
I didn't say
hear one more person say that, I'm going to lose it.
I don't think
we needed one.
Yeah, I don't think it's a need, but I could still see it happening.
Jake's gonna drive up to Alaska just to give Simon a face wash.
Simon, I'm gonna lock you in your own igloo, dude.
Simon, I just wanted you to know that we called this a draft party. It was actually an intervention. Jake messaged me and said, "Hey, we know the draft is a really big deal for you guys on your channel, but our guy needs help. Can we all do this together?" And I said, "Absolutely. I'll do that for you."
Please donate to Wisco
Fanatics. Draft watch party. This is an intervention. We just want you to get help.
Cue "In the Arms of an Angel" music and start.
Bro, we got Sarah McLachlan queued up.
Exactly. We don't want to lose the monetization, so no, we can't play it. We'll sing it for you though.
We got Captain Hill saying they don't need a wide receiver, so Goody is gonna get one to make that.
Goot doesn't give a shit about your guys' feelings.
Like all I've been saying is like,
there it is.
Because I get it.
Murphy.
Okay.
That's a really good pick for Seattle.
I get it from the standpoint of like Goot has made it a pattern to fall in love with round one wide receivers. If he's truly looking at best player and feels like Brian Thomas is the best grade on his board, I could see it.
He's not going to do it. I'll preface it with that.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen.
Simon, when you said what's better than one Christian Watson, two Christian Watsons, I'm like, oh, great. So we can have two guys that people complain about being injury prone all year.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
John actually said something really great on our show when we had him on last year about Christian Watson, that if he gives you prime Calvin Johnson for 13 games out of 17, I don't care about the 4 that he misses. And I couldn't agree more with that.
Yep.
He's not going to be prime Calvin Johnson, but yeah.
I mean, dude had, 8 touchdowns in 3 games in his rookie year?
Yeah. Okay. Even Calvin Johnson light, I will happily take it.
Yeah.
But like he's that type of body type, right? He has that type of natural athletic acumen. If Watson continues to develop as a receiver and, no, he's not going to be Calvin Johnson. But if he is a star wide receiver, I don't care if he plays 13 games a year. We have a
Minnesota trade.
Terrion Arnold here, maybe?
Did Vikings trade up to 17 for
They
the
just did.
Jaguars?
Yeah.
They did.
Yep,
It
they did.
is.
And
17.
Scott saying that the Packers should trade up for Arnold. It's becoming a higher possibility as we go.
Well, unless the Vikings take him here.
I was going to say the Vikings also need secondary help.
Here's the pick. Here's the trade. The Vikings traded 17 for number 23, number 167, a 2025 third and fourth. They traded 3 picks.
Wow.
They are taking a corner.
So they gave up
Did they
their
get
pick.
anything in return?
17.
17.
That's it?
So to
That's
move
it.
up 6 spots, that's what it cost them.
Wow.
Wow.
They must
What?
love that player.
Yikes.
Connor asked if
Connor, I think we're all trying to go.
I think some subset of us will be there. I'm still currently hoping that there's a way that I can get media credentials.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
I'm holding out hope for.
Yep, I'm with you, Tyler.
If
Ooh.
I can make it, I'm going.
I'll be there.
We've floated the idea too for our other side of things about like seeing if even in Sheboygan, which is close enough, hosting like a Packer memorabilia convention over the week of the draft as well. So like we'll probably be all over.
Sweet.
All right.
There's the pick that I just said.
Here it is. What do we got?
The 17th pick to the Minnesota Vikings. With the 17th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings select Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
Michael is a smart guy.
That is.
I'm good with it.
Are we sure that he didn't just say that in like the form of like a guess, but he already knew because he's ahead of us?
No, he definitely guessed.
He was just trying to give us a non-spoiler spoiler.
You're towing the line, Michael, if that's the case.
I mean,
yeah. Ease on my guy. Ease on my guy.
I'm gonna gain a fan in Gary, and then Michael's gonna be like,
No,
no,
it was
fuck
a guess.
No, it was a guess.
Nice cover. We're gonna do an intervention
Right,
for
yeah.
you next.
Hey,
Everyone.
Michael's been sending me mock drafts since February.
That's such a
Michael's
good
a big
name.
baseball guy, man. He's a big Brewers fan.
He's a fan of all of things. That's why he's a
Man,
fan of us.
Look at these corners falling, though.
Yeah.
Dude, Cooper's falling right in our lap, dude.
Yeah.
I still worry about Philly with Cooper.
Michael,
Yeah, Mitchell's there, though.
John, Michael wants to know who your team is.
The Packers? With what? What team? What do you mean?
I don't. John, I've never asked you this. I can't believe I've never asked you this.
Baseball?
I've seen you in real life like 17 times.
Let me.
Do you like pay attention to baseball or basketball or anything like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah,
Dude.
Brewers.
Oh, do you like the Bucks?
Yeah.
Do you like watch the games?
No, it just looks
Not-
at box scores. So we
Not
can be
nearly as
casual.
actively as the Packers. I would consider myself, I very much root for Bucks and Brewers, but I'm significantly more casual. I don't have the game in, game out, like know the stats. Like I know the trends. I know.
You
Like, I'll
live a
watch
much
it
more
on.
relaxed life than me then, because I watch every single game and it's terrible for my mental health.
Yeah, see, that's part of the reason I can't do it. But
And
like,
this is your intervention, Jake.
the Packers are mine.
I've needed
just
one for
wondering-
years.
I'm just taking ashwagandha during the football season so I can stop like freaking out.
We have interventions on Wednesdays regularly.
Yeah, we do.
You guys are a very intervention heavy group. Are you guys?
I am
okay?
entirely
not
different
okay.
person during the Packers game. I like morph into something different that I'm not proud of.
You are not on the lives. You are not allowed on the live. I've seen
People
you
vote for
on game days.
Patreon watch parties.
I don't know. We might like pick up some more watch so they can just laugh at me.
We don't
We got
want
Kevin
people
Kibble
laughing
saying,
at us.
and with that info on the trade comp, Goody is asking to go back some spots.
Maybe.
Yeah, Vikings, I mean, yeah. If you want to
I
give us
still think
4
he's
picks to move
gonna
up
be in
6
love.
spots.
We got Scott saying DeJean might fall to us,
Possible. Although I think Peter,
saying that DeJean is likely to go to the Eagles.
partly because like DeJean is considered an excellent zone corner, right? I mean, he'll do great in a Fangio system in Philly. He's a very natural match for Philly.
Thanks, Taylor.
I like
And
I like
Looney,
Captain Kebble's getting in on the interventions. That's funny, dude.
right?
Try to stage one for himself, though.
That's
Like,
funny.
I love your small novels. They're great. Ooh, this is a great question by Kamikaze. If Tyrion Arnold falls to the Packers, do they draft him or still take DeJean?
Arnold. Take Tyrion Arnold.
I would take Cooper. He plays multiple positions and he's more physical.
It's a win-win.
Do not show Christopher
Win-win.
comment. He's a bad person.
Christopher,
do you guys have? What do you guys think?
I think the Packers, I think they would tilt Arnold.
I thought the opposite. I think they like DeJean's versatility. In my opinion, I would like Arnold more.
I've seen the Packers talking about Cooper DeJean so much that it makes me think that that's who they want.
Well, and I mean, part of that was like Goot was explicitly asked about DeJean.
Right.
Like it wasn't like, "Hey, Goot, who do you like?" And then he talked about DeJean. No, like the question was like, "How do you feel about Cooper DeJean and what position he will play?" And like Goot just gave an answer. So I think that did get overblown a little bit, but I don't know. I just want to see Cooper DeJean in this defense. I really do. But in terms of the pure coverage skills, the fact that Arnold probably is superior in man, a little bit more of a pure corner, so fits more of that premium position aspect, I could see the Packers tilting towards Arnold.
All I know is I'm very happy how this is shaped up so far for Green Bay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It
And
could
now you're-
change really quickly in the next couple picks, though.
Yeah, true. But we're getting into that territory where it's not all that hard. Well, although the Vikings just gave up a lot, but you're getting into that territory where it's not quite as expensive to maybe jump up and get a guy you didn't think you would have a chance to get to.
Yeah, I think the Vikings might have just eliminated that for us.
Here's a thought. Now that the Bengals are up, what if there's a trade where the Bengals trade T. Higgins and then they draft Adonai Mitchell?
Ooh.
I mean, it's a heck of a lot to work out in like 9 minutes, though.
I mean, it happened with A.J. Brown last year.
Yeah, that's true.
Justin wondering, so if the quarterbacks continue to fall, does that increase our chances of trading back?
No, in my opinion.
No, I think
so
you take your best guy.
Yeah,
And then maybe at that point, maybe try to trade back into the first round and double dip.
Yeah, I think even Andrew Brandt was talking about earlier. I think it was him anyway. Like, teams trade back when they've run out of players in that round on their board.
Yep.
If players remain in that round on their board, they are going to feel confident about taking the guy. Teams very, very rarely trade back because of too many options.
Yep.
They trade back because of no options.
Yep.
All this means, in my opinion, for Green Bay is they might get someone they didn't think they were going to, or maybe thought they would have to trade up a little bit to get. Now that's going to fall at 25, and they're just going to go into tomorrow with all their picks.
And they'll be ecstatic about it.
Yeah.
Captain Kevin's saying, but will Green Bay get Aaron Rodgers some pup weights? Sorry, talking points. My Wi-Fi is slow.
Yeah,
Are
like
you
3 years
advocating
ago.
for Brian Thomas here? Because we have interventions for that.
Michael, you better settle down. We're gonna have an intervention about calling
Oh, we
Brian
got,
a genius. I don't
Big
know if we
Al's
can
You
allow
just call
that.
him a genius?
Yeah.
Oh,
Big
That
Al's
guy's
saying,
not
Big
gonna
Michael,
go
I
Mars.
agree. I agree.
Too early.
God.
What up, Big Al?
Yes.
My personal opinion, even for Edger and Cooper, I just like this linebacking class better in round 2. I like linebackers better in round 2, period, just from a positional value standpoint. But especially this year. It wouldn't shock me if the Packers did it, but it probably would be a little bit of a reach.
I would be okay with, like, if my ideal scenario is that Peyton Wilson falls to 41.
Yeah. I don't know. I like Peyton Wilson a lot, but he's another one kind of like Latu, where like I just wouldn't be shocked if the Packers just crossed him off entirely.
He has some
and just
concerns.
like we're not going to touch it.
In a weak linebacker class, I think that might just be the kind of risk you have to take to have somebody who's got, you know, higher round talent. Otherwise, you're looking at like drafting Trevin Wallace in like the 4th or 5th.
Or I mean, they looked at Peyton Wilson and said like, all right, this linebacker class sucks. We're going to throw a fifth round grade on you. In which case, like, they're not going to get him anyway. Like, I could see that being possible too.
See, that guy agrees with me.
Do you think Patanu is he pretty well set to be a guard?
What's that?
Patanu?
Otanu? I think he could be either one.
Yeah, so he could be interesting.
He's 6'4".
But we don't take interiors in the first round. That's the problem. So I just
correct.
Yeah.
And Packers do a lot of like picking college tackles and moving them inside too.
And there's a lot of people I like it later on. Like I like Puny a lot, and some other players like. Yeah,
Taylor's definitely too early to think about next year's running back.
Bengals should take Fatano here. Just anything on their offensive line, to be honest.
Yeah.
They're going to take Graham Barton.
Taylor's wondering, for running backs, do you think next year's class will be better than this year's?
Oh, wow,
there he goes.
Too soon.
Amarius Mims.
Honestly, I like Mims. I like Mims better for the Bengals than I did the Packers.
Yep.
It's a good pick for them.
Steeler. I thought Mims was a Steeler.
He's not fat. He's well put together. That's what the guy just said.
He's stocky.
Another offensive player gone.
Yeah, I'm totally good with this.
Packers might draft before 10 o'clock, knock on wood.
Got 7 more picks, yeah?
No, I still have 4 more hours.
Well, and you figure, 10 minutes per pick in round 1? Is that where we're at yet? Like,
yeah.
Teams that have traded up have made their picks. Like
second round is still 7 minutes, right? Second, third, something like that.
Yeah.
Is it 7 or 5?
No, 5 isn't until later. I think it drops.
I think it's 10, isn't it?
Still for the second round?
Yeah. Second round is still pretty dang long.
guys,
Yeah, it's like 10.
Yeah, okay.
Second round is a valuable round. You get a lot of good players in the second round.
7 minutes in the second round.
A big dude.
7 minutes for the second round, 5 minutes through 3rd through 6th, and then 4 minutes in the 7th.
Okay.
I always love seeing these videos because it's like they have the big family around them, and depending on what their situation is, they just like are put in a position that they're changing their entire family's lives.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nice to see.
Michael's excited that the Vikings are running out of picks.
Makes sense.
And for next year too. Like,
Yeah, that's what he said.
Well,
He said
tell me when the Bears
left
next
to
pick
start
is.
next.
When's the Bears
4th
next
round.
pick?
sometime
They
next
have a
week.
4.
Captain Kebbles, just to answer you quick, the biggest draft shocker thus far is probably Michael Penix at 8 to Atlanta. That's probably the biggest one thus far.
I would say another shock is the only team that has made any trade so far is the Vikings.
Oh, yeah.
No one else has traded any positions.
That's true.
I think a corner not being selected is kind of a shock so far too.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Good call.
Kamikaze saying, I read that Graham Barton is projected as a guard or center in the NFL.
He is. He's kind of viewed in the mold of like Zach Tom, of we're going to pick him to play interior, but if he like does tackle well, okay. Like that's kind of the standpoint, especially in Green Bay, because his arms are just short of what they consider to be their arm length threshold for guys who can play tackle.
And I wouldn't care. Like if they wanted to pick interior, that'd be great. Like if they want to pick Graham Barton, send him at right tackle. Right guard and forget it. Like great, but it's just not what the Packers normally do, so it'd be a little surprising. But if they do that, I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, it would just be shocking because it would go very strongly against what they historically do.
The Vikings still have pick 230.
That's their next pick in this draft.
I don't know if that's their next one. I know that they still have it. They have 177. Traded 167, so they don't have that one.
Rams may go DL.
They have a fourth. So they have a fourth, a sixth, and a seventh left yet.
Wow.
Maybe Johnny Newton here to the Rams.
I was just about to ask you guys what you thought about that.
I mean, he's kind of Aaron Donald-esque.
They could go Jared Verse, I think. Who do they got at edge?
I think they should go either Newton or Murphy.
Somebody sound on?
Not me.
It's mine. Sorry. Sorry. I have to watch this pick very closely. My father-in-law, who lives with us, he's disabled, but he's a big LA Rams fan. So I get into the game.
Don't correlate, by the way. He just said them close together.
You shut up.
Murphy already went, by the way, Tyler. Didn't he?
Yeah, Byron Murphy's gone.
Oh, that's right. The Seahawks picked him. Yep.
I think you Rams go Verse or Mitchell. Yeah.
So, yeah, Rams should take. They should take Newton.
Joseph, hearing Cowboys like Barton, I've read the same thing a bunch.
Yeah, I saw that as well.
Yeah, that would not be surprising.
Dude, who is Michael's TV provider and why is he so far ahead of us?
Gotta have Verizon internet.
He's probably on Twitter or something, to be honest.
Let me see if I can see it on Twitter.
Okay, apparently it's not Newton.
I'm going to have to change over to the private chat to not see any of these comments once the Packers are up. Or I'll find you, Michael.
You have charter? You're a liar. You're a liar.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a second.
You are a liar. Now I'm coming at you because I've had charter and they're trash.
The Vikings have 3 picks left in 2025.
Wow.
In 2025?
Yeah.
Wow.
Field Yates just tweeted, following a series of trades, the Vikings now have just 3 picks in the 2025 NFL draft, a first round and 2 fifth-round picks.
They're just scared to send their personnel to Green Bay for the draft. That's all.
Holy crap. I believe you, Michael.
Yikes.
Wow.
Gerard Mayo said Drake May and Jacoby Brissett will compete all spring training camp.
Peter,
Okay.
I would love if they
sense.
take Jared Verse, but he's not replacing Aaron Donald. They're not even close to the same thing.
No.
Yeah, 2 different players
Better replacement for Donald, player for player.
for that interior.
I haven't even seen him on Twitter yet.
Brett saying, I have Spectrum and all you guys are so ahead, including Bucks games. You guys are freaking out before the commercials are even done.
Now I found it.
Right, living in La Crosse near Minnesota.
I just found it. Rappaport tweeted it 6 seconds ago.
Don't say anything. I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
If this guy stops freaking talking so much. They really took Jared Verse.
Yep.
I mean, I don't hate
There's
that
Tom
pick.
Ozzie.
I think that's still a good pick.
Yeah.
Makes sense for him.
I'm not a fan.
I don't like him at 19. I just didn't like him as an edge rusher. Like, he was my 4th ranked edge rusher, I think.
He's my 3rd.
Whose house? Rams' house. Lame. That's so lame.
Christopher saying Vikings GM might lose his job after this season.
Yeah. 3 picks.
And
next
Ryan.
year. They
Nah,
don't
give
even
my
have anything to
contract
build
extension.
around JJ McCarthy now.
I think he's
Yeah.
doing great.
If those players don't work out, he's done.
Yeah.
Him and Ryan Poles.
Yeah.
He's all
Because
in.
you're not going to you have a rookie quarterback this year. Now you're going to have anything to add anything around him next year. You're about to pay Justin Jefferson
You have too many
$35 million a year.
Yep.
For the next 3.
Yep.
What do they have left for 2024? I wonder. They better drill every pick they have remaining.
Mello right now, they just finished up the Rams at 19. So
They
we've
have
got 5,
fourth-
6 picks to Green Bay at 25.
They have a
Pittsburgh's
4th, a 6th, and a 7th left this year, I believe.
So you have 3 picks this year, 3 picks next year.
Wow.
Well, and the
You
2
have
that they already
11
made.
picks in just this draft.
It's nuts.
No problem, Mello.
Oh, they're going crazy. They're going crazy in this house. Look at them. Man, I can't wait to have that feeling when my son gets drafted in the NFL, man. It's going to be a great day for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
Justin,
Justin,
I was
the
about to
Philly
say
pick is going to be the determining pick for our draft. I mean,
Yeah.
right now, Arnold, Mitchell, Dean, Kool-Aid, Nate Wiggins, they're all still available.
we're emerging to like darn near best possible scenario for Green Bay, depending on how
Yeah.
these next couple go.
Do you guys ever get like headaches by talking about people that like just they act like they know football and they just don't? Like I just said to all my Vikings fans, friends that are fans, I said they only have 3 picks next year and 3 picks this year. And he's like, go look at the statistics of players that are picked after the second round that start for teams. It's super low. I'm like, there's
That's
22
fine.
starters on a team. You can pick 2 in those 2 rounds every year. Like, what do you
And
think?
it's fine for the Packers.
If every player that started on a team was picked in the first or second round, it would take you 10 years to draft your starting lineup.
Yeah, Justin. I mean, on the cornerback scenario, you're in a like John said, like a best case scenario. Like, you have a scenario where it's like, okay, you can pick anybody that you want. Instead of just being like, I hope one of them makes it. You can say 3 of them made it. Now you just pick whichever one you want.
Yep.
What do you think is an under the radar need?
Why don't you guys go?
Don't
Tackling.
take Simon's advice on this one.
Just in general.
Underrated need. Under the radar need.
Like that's honestly like there are times last year. I'm not even going to defend Joe Barry, but I am going to say some of those games would have looked a heck of a lot better if they wouldn't have had 14 to 17 missed tackles.
Yeah.
Cut that number in half and the defense looks a lot better. And so that's partly why, like, as I've been looking at guys, I am prioritizing what were their missed tackle rates in college. Are they known as a good tackler, or are they reincarnates of Darnell Savage? Who
Thank you. I did the same
better,
thing. Thank
like
you.
he did better than his average this year, and it still wasn't great. So, like,
Are you
I
giving
don't
the
care
stupid
what scheme
poetry?
they run.
I did. I sure did.
Boy.
I gave him the slam poetry sign of approval.
Like, I'm gonna love Halfley's scheme, but ultimately, I don't care what scheme you run it, be it technically proficient, and tackle. And somewhere along the line, some iteration of Packers defense have like occasionally forgot that, and
We're
that
buddies.
needs to get fixed.
We are buddies, John.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, center from Justin and a running back in case of injury from Michael.
Yeah. I think it's definitely on the Packers board for sure. Under the radar. It's so hard to say under the radar now, and like,
Yeah, we've been pretty in depth the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Everyone's consumed draft content. I think cornerbacks up there. I don't even know if you consider that under the radar.
The only way I could see considering cornerback under the radar is if you consider that if Eric Stokes comes back healthy and plays well, that the Packers could have like legit one of the best secondary.
And that's kind of what the cornerback room sort of hinges on, right? Is like Carrington Valentine taking the next step, Eric Stokes playing even decently well. It's just hard to project those two.
Well, I mean, I think from a roster building standpoint, you almost have to look at Stokes and say, whatever we get from you is a bonus.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just like they've kind of done with Bakhtiari over the last couple of years of like, we're going to keep you around because we believe you're uber talented, but we know that we can't necessarily rely on you. So whatever we get from you, great. But we're not going to build with pretending you're a permanent starter.
I think edge is kind of up there
I
too.
was gonna say the only pick that would surprise me maybe at our pick here would be if like Chop Robinson fell to us. That wouldn't be a huge surprise because it'd be an interesting pick. But the way the board's shaping up a little bit here, it could be, if they go on a run like say Terrion Arnold, DeJean, and like Atanu go here, we might be looking at trading down and say like McKinstry went too. Like, so it'll be interesting what happens over the next 4 picks.
Yeah, I mean, the board could empty like by the time we get to 20. It looks great right now, but realistically 4 more picks and it could change pretty quick.
There are 9 guys on just what my list that I'm looking for, and that I'd be like super okay with the Packers taking.
Can I see the big board? Thank you.
Joseph asked any wide receivers or offensive tackles that could entice teams below 25 to offer Packers a trade.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a lot of tackles like Fautanu. Barton is still there.
Yep.
Guyton. Wide receivers, you're looking at like Adonai Mitchell, Brian Thomas, Troy Franklin, Keon Coleman, but I don't think you need to move up for him.
It really all depends on where teams see players too. If teams see that Barton and they want to try him out at tackle, like they might value him more than we would at that point.
Right.
I think there's a good number of teams that still might project Barton out at tackle.
Yeah.
The Packers are generally more strict at their linemen than most.
And if you draft him in the first round, you get an extra year to test him around and find out.
Yep.
There's also a reason the Packers are always consistently having a very, what I would say, a solid line.
Steelers, they're about to pick right now.
Jinx. Justin, no spoilers.
Justin.
He said Miami's on the
line,
clock.
man.
He didn't say who the Steelers picked, but he said Miami's
Yeah,
on the clock.
he's teetering. He's settled
Also,
down.
Ray, I'm with you, Ray. I'm down with it.
Yeah, he's teetering by saying the Steelers picked someone.
Hey, he
Settle
was
down.
gonna give it
Oh,
away.
now Bill's getting in on it. Here we go.
You go, Justin. You got it.
What's up, Bill? How you doing, buddy?
Come on, get to it.
I feel like we haven't talked since yesterday.
Oh man, we had such a good time yesterday. I had a lot of fun yelling at
The show was
people.
awesome, I think.
That was a good show.
So my brother said, yeah, the Vikings don't have many picks last year, but they'll have 70 million in cap space. Well, okay, great. 35 is going to Justin.
Well, cap, depending on how they,
Yeah.
make
Michael,
a
no.
contract.
No,
Cam Hayward's just about to announce it.
I'll put you in timeout.
Sorry to hear that, man. At least the Brewers are winning. The
Hang
Bucks
in there,
are
Bill.
winning.
Good
Okay.
pick for the Steelers. Yep.
All right.
Good pick.
Okay, Michael, you can tell us now.
there we go.
Your
Kamikaze
parents-
waited. Thank you.
Did your guys' parents
You
ever
should
put you in the
collect
corner?
Spoilers.
Well, I think, from the Packers' standpoint of things, realistically, like offensive line wise now, Fashanu's still out there, or they break tendency to go with Graham Barton.
Yeah.
Like if you're looking O-line, that's realistically the top
Shanu
two.
got picked.
Yeah, Fashanu got picked.
Oh.
Did he?
I
Yes.
missed one.
What?
The
the-
Jets.
Really?
You and Michael on the negative list.
So,
Jets.
offensive
Oh.
line kind of dried up pretty quick.
All right,
for
never mind,
those mid first round picks.
Justin.
No.
What a block.
Come on. We're getting close.
What do you mean F. Barton? Did you tell us the next pick? Aaron,
Before the pick's
No, I
even
think
in,
you-
Aaron's already saying what it is.
are you in the future?
I think he's using F in a different way.
Yeah.
I like Fautanu. That's a really good pick.
I mean, it is shocking that no corner's gone yet.
That I
Yeah.
100% agree.
I thought for sure the Colts were taking one.
Well, Arnold
Did we
and
take-
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Like this is right around where Gene was supposed to go,
Yeah.
but Mitchell and Arnold were supposed to be long gone.
Yeah. And maybe Nate Wiggins even.
I hope-
I think they would take Arnold over to Gene. I think Philly would do that.
I hope Wiggins is the next guy gone because I don't think the Packers would take him.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
He's too small for them.
Thin, I would say. He's not a small dude. He's just thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he would mop the floor.
And he's a bad run defender. Like he can't tackle
Well-
for shit.
I think
mean,
he was in like 160 something pounds at one point.
He's a
Well, he's at the
173 or
at
something.
the combine he was 173.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's still, I mean, they picked Jair at 185, and when they picked him, they acknowledged that he was lighter than they like their corners.
But that's
So
like
they go to
too
Wiggins,
late.
like dude's gonna have to live at Culver's for a month to come even close.
I'll buy him a
Don't
burger.
threaten me with a good time.
It's like that
Man.
Ron. Have you guys watched Park and Reps where Ron Swanson asked for all the eggs and bacon? You'd have to walk into Culver's and be like, "Give me all the cheese curds that you have."
Every one of them.
Well,
I think you misheard me.
saying
When I
that
said-
Miami is probably going to take a corner.
I can see
so
that.
maybe we'll
Yeah.
see our first one
I
go.
definitely see that, Scott. Yeah.
I mean, we got 4
Well,
picks to
family.
go, and there's 4 corners that we like.
Yeah.
Let's see. Christopher says, I had seen a draft board that had the Packers trading up to the Broncos spot to get Mitchell. That's how early they thought these guys were going to go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely one of the stories thus far. Is
Yeah.
I'd be
corners are
thrilled
falling.
with Quinyon Mitchell.
Yep. Bill's
Yeah.
saying
Yeah.
that it's played out very weird. Still seeing names that I
Yep.
thought would be gone by now.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think that's kind of part of why like you don't let like mock drafts and stuff
Yeah.
guide your rankings. How like it's just not going to go that
Yeah.
way.
Well, when you start getting people like Michael Penix Jr. to goes at 8, when you see a Marius Mims who's been drafted to us or later than us pretty much everywhere you look, it starts to push some people down the board for sure.
And I will say too, like I have been uber critical of PFF for like the last 2 months because like while a lot of their round 1 rankings have been like fine enough,
Their later ones are trash.
their 7-round mocks over the last 2 months, their day 3 is just there's no way it's practical. And that's like I am tired of seeing mocks where people in the 7th were consistently getting like Tanner Bortolini and Oladapo and like it just I don't know. I have not enjoyed PFF much as of late.
I saw somebody post a Pro Football Network mock draft in response to the one that I posted where they got Byron Murphy at 41. I'm like, LOL.
And he went
He's not
what?
making it to the
15 to
Packers at
Seattle?
He went
25.
20. He went what?
16
15th
to
or
Seattle.
16?
I'm like, he's going to hear his name called tonight before the Packers.
Oh, Scott saying pack trade up to get Arnold and DeGene. I'm turn that secondary into a weapon.
Dude, if they fail,
Turn
that would
the
be
camera off.
yeah.
I was gonna say I might get you guys shut down, but that
Yeah.
also sounds better.
I wouldn't be able to stand up for a little while. I'd have to sit here.
Same energy.
Justin asking, overall, which player has surprised you falling the most?
Quinyon Mitchell.
Yeah, Arterion Arnold.
Yeah,
I was gonna
either of
go
those.
Arnold.
Any of the corners.
I think Arnold, being from a big school, a Saban defense, and he's graded as one of the best defenders in this draft. That's pretty crazy.
Yep.
And a lot of teams that needed a corner. So
Yeah, if more corners fall past 25, that's when I think you really.
I
Like
think
Luther
Miami is
working the
taking
phone.
one here. I would bet money Miami's taking one here.
Michael living in the future said Miami.
Well,
by
you know-
defense, so
Could Miami go with Johnny Newton here since they got rid of Wilkins?
I was gonna say that too.
They could. It wouldn't be out of line at all.
Yeah.
Steven saying, can't wait till tomorrow's hustle after tonight's draft.
Yes.
It'll be
Kidding.
it'll be quicker pace, Steven. That's for sure.
yeah.
I remember last year was like they picked 13, which was like an hour and a half in, and then it was like, all right, 3 hours to wait and see if they come back into the back end of round 1. All right, cool. That was just a lot of chilling last year.
This would be where the people talking about Packeries though, Packers, whatever that word was. This could be where all the cornerbacks fall to us and we still trade back. It's like, what are we doing?
Don't say it, man.
Don't even put it out into the universe.
What's that wider Xavier Woods? That'd be funny.
Oh, Xavier Worthy?
Or Worthy, excuse me. Thank you.
Yeah. Little dude.
That'd be
Bill's saying
funny.
Goody
Just
has
the
to be
fastest.
chomping at the bit by now.
Yeah, I very much agree, Bill.
I mean,
Yep.
he has the ammunition to move up if he's someone that he's like, I can't lose this dude. And if he's going to do it, he probably wants to jump Philly. So maybe he would probably have to trade with Miami here.
Philly needs a lot of things.
Yeah.
they lost a lot.
I mean, I could very easily see with Philly going either DeGene or Mitchell or Arnold, whichever one isn't picked by Miami here.
Yeah.
Very easily could see Philly go with.
I could
All
easily
right.
see, Miami
Since the
going Johnny
Dolphins
Newton here, though,
selection.
too.
We're
'Cause they
finally
still
gonna
have, is Xavier Howard still in Miami, too? Or did he go somewhere?
Xavier Howard?
You got
He got cut.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right.
I think he's still out there, no?
Yeah, he is.
He got cut kind of
Bob
recently.
Robinson.
Bob Robinson.
Chop. Okay.
Man.
Wow.
Okay.
good
This is
pick
getting
for them.
really interesting for us at this point.
So
That's
still
a
no
good pick for
corner.
them.
Wow.
We had him going at 29.
Yeah.
I mean, Green Bay can now, like, one pick over the next 3 has to not be a corner. And then Green Bay walks into one of the top 3 corners of the draft.
Yep.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
I love Chop Robinson.
I do too.
Yeah, I like Chop a lot.
That's gonna be a super sneaky pick.
Yeah. He could turn into like a Micah Parsons type, to be honest.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh man.
Chop was my number 1 edge rusher in the draft.
Dude, he is cat quick, man. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Scott saying DeJean gonna fall. Bruce saying everything is lining up.
It is, Bruce. It
Justin
is.
saying it's a cornerback buffet at points. Michael is reading his tea leaves, saying Philly's definitely taking a defensive.
Yeah, I don't know how we get past this point without them taking one. Like unless because they don't even need interior linemen, so they're not going to take Johnny. So,
well, who do we
need a lot? They could probably take a corner too.
Yeah,
I mean, Philly could take.
They could take a wide receiver too, though.
Well, who's it? Who's at 23 now? My memory's fading.
Jacksonville.
They could definitely take a corner.
Yeah, Joseph's wondering what do the Jaguars need?
A lot.
They need a corner.
Yeah.
They need a wide receiver too.
Especially because I think they cut one of their corners at the beginning.
Adonai Mitchell at 23.
Yeah, and then 24 is Dallas, which I don't know. I'd be kind of surprised if Dallas doesn't.
I wonder if Philly's taking phone calls right now with 2 minutes left on the board.
Yeah. I do love reading about after every draft.
Not the Eagles needing a wide receiver. The Jaguars need a wide receiver.
Yeah.
Need a wide receiver.
I do love reading after every draft how GMs who are friends just call each other to screw with each other. Like there's 1 minute left on the clock, so they call their division rivals GM just to eat up time. Like I love hearing those stories.
Peter's saying Arnold and DeJean to the Eagles and Cowboys. My guess.
It's very possible, Peter.
Don't say that, Peter.
But I really wouldn't be surprised if
DeJean goes to the Cowboys. I'll be pissed.
I don't know. Cowboys just seem so much in need of offensive line.
Yeah.
Like they've just been decimated.
So what you think they go Guyton,
Barton. They've been linked to Barton a lot.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They may call an audible and go corner now with how
I don't know if there's anyone I can't like. I know we have some terrible fans in the NFC North, but I think Eagles fans have got to be the worst in the entire NFL.
I have heard.
Yeah.
I think that whole Northeast is just not great.
I honestly pride in the fact that no one wants to go to your stadium because you might physically assault them because you wore a different color. Insane.
Oh, I should point out too. I mean, with the Cowboys, in terms of whether they should take a corner or not. I mean, they've got DeBland and Diggs.
Yeah.
I mean, at least 2 corners deep, they're just fine.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have a feeling Jerry Jones and McCarthy are gonna go more to the need side of things.
They're gonna do something weird.
They're doing something here. I mean, they got 59 seconds left on this clock.
Yeah.
Minnesota, is that you?
Refresh my
Minnesota. I will trade you my
entire. All right, so it's gonna be Philly's pick.
Anna's saying, what did Goot get for trading for 26 pick?
Oh, 26, like the Jordan Love pick? Or which one do you mean, Anna, sorry.
I don't see that we've traded down. So
yeah, I'm not sure. Please clarify.
No, yeah. We haven't traded yet. If you need a past one, let me know which one you mean. We can look it up.
Mm-hmm. Michael saying Philadelphia Arnold, Jacksonville Mitchell, Cowboys Guyton, and Packers DeJean.
I'm down with it, Michael.
Sounds good.
You're back on the positive side.
Let's go, Mike.
Well,
but it's a thin line, Michael. Watch it.
I won't say anything.
You shut your mouth, Tyler. You're going to be in the comments next.
Don't tell me what to do,
isn't it?
Wait, is Tyler in charge right now, or
guy in that draft room wearing a tie?
Because usually Tyler's in charge, so we can't talk like this to Tyler.
I'm buddies
on the feet on his face. He just ruined it for me.
I can definitely talk to Tyler like that. I just get kicked out and muted.
Yeah.
You get fired all the time. It's been a while though. You're on a hot streak.
Come on.
Someone said pick his in cornerback. Come on, Michael.
Michael?
Refreshed at the right time.
It's gonna
Remember,
be,
fine
it's gonna
line.
be Mitchell.
Oh, he said he was wrong.
Michael?
Michael?
On the line.
What the heck, Anna?
I feel like I'm in the office. Michael's
That's
fine.
why. Yeah, that's immediately what I thought of too. Michael.
Anna, Dallas is at 24.
Yeah, Dallas has 24.
You're like what's the name of the redheaded secretary that comes on second?
Ellie Kemper.
What's her name? I can't remember her name.
I just know the actress that plays her.
Uh-huh.
Did we?
I can't think of it.
Can we stop commenting things?
All right, we're still waiting on the Eagles at 22.
No, we're still picking at 25, Anna.
No.
Aaron. Her name is Aaron.
Aaron, that's
That's
Some
right.
Jagabi. Come on.
All right, pick someone so they can boo them. Let's go. Let me throw some batteries at them or something.
Yeah,
There
they
you
can
go.
get
He's coming
cooked in Brazil.
Joseph, yeah, right? I wouldn't put it past to Joseph.
Dude, the fact that game is in Brazil is a huge benefit to us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
All right. What do we get?
Oh, my goodness. Spit it out, Goodell.
He's listening to people boo him still.
Yeah.
Just reveling in it.
I
Yes,
do
you're
I
right
do
in
respect him
Brazil.
for owning it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Fantastic. Who would they
I'd
pick?
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, when you get to cry in a Range Rover that somebody's driving for you on your way back to your penthouse apartment where you're going to have your personal chef cook for you and then sleep in a bed that's 50 feet by 50 feet with a flat screen in any direction you want it.
Do you see why Goodell can't really hug people this year?
Okay.
He had back surgery like 2 weeks ago. And
No, Anna,
so,
yeah,
like,
we're picking at 25 still.
he's
Yeah,
totally
yeah, still
hampered.
25.
It's from carrying the hatred of NFL fans.
Right. Spit it out,
That's
man.
great. We love Jordan Mailata. That's fantastic. Can we figure out who is going to join him in the Eagles?
Claudia's speaking what we're all thinking. I like it. I like it.
Why do we need to do this?
What is happening why?
I missed that whole thing. Who is
He's great.
that?
He's got a cool accent. Can
that's
he
their
use
tackle,
that
but-
accent?
Oh, the rugby player dude.
You think they would have found someone from Brazil to announce the pick? I don't know.
Okay.
Brady Mitchell.
Okay.
Okay. So goes
Hi,
Mitchell.
Quinion Mitchell, yep.
Okay, cool.
Just saying, NFL, if you want to make
We're
me
now gonna get
send you
cooked
to
in
Australia,
week
I'll do it.
Right? You'd have
Sorry,
to-
Terry on Arnold dream still lives on.
Yeah, I mean, Arnold and DeGene, 2 picks to go. Jacksonville
And-
could take corner. Dallas, I'd be surprised.
And worst case scenario, Kool-Aid will be there too.
Yeah,
True.
Gabi
Well,
says.
you
I
know
think
at least
I
one of
wanna
those three is going to be there.
Kool-Aid.
Cool. I really like Kool-Aid. I'm scared of that Jones fracture.
That's
'Cause that
fair.
is such a recurring injury. And I'm concerned about that.
Who was it that had one for us a couple years ago, though?
The
Was that
Jones
Stokes? Did Stokes
The
have
Jones
it?
fracture?
I thought we had
no.
Stokes had a bunch happen
We
to
don't
that
even
leg.
know what happened to Stokes.
Yeah.
Just that he's
Can't remember.
hurt bionic man with how much metal they had to repair him with.
Yeah.
Yeah, Quinion
He had like a
Mitchell had
nasty injury.
Yeah.
Stokes? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was ankle, knee, and foot.
Yeah.
Like, and it was, he had screws and a plate put in. I still don't think from anything I've seen that the Packers have revealed to this day exactly everything that was wrong.
Yeah, because you didn't hear about that like the whole
Mhm.
year.
Yeah. It went
Like
silent.
nothing.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot bigger than they let on.
Yeah.
They didn't say much for sure.
Kamikaze saying, I won't draft anyone with the name Kool-Aid.
His real name's not Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I don't know. Steel Chambers for me.
Yep.
Steel Chambers is still the best name in the draft.
It's a good name.
I like Storm Duck. Give me some
Storm
Storm Duck.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, that's a pretty good hug, though.
Ah,
I think Ennis Rakestraw is a pretty badass name.
Yeah.
That's a good one too.
I
But
just-
Steel
I
Chambers
don't-
at linebacker is pretty dope.
I don't think the Packers are going to take Rakestraw, but with the way that he trash talks and how physical he is, could you just imagine a secondary of like Jair, Valentine, Rakenstraw, Nixon. Like, oh my God.
That's why I like Nate Wiggins.
Dude, they would probably draw so many personal fouls from people punching him in the face.
Taylor's saying if his middle name is Fruit Punch, I would definitely draft Kool-Aid.
Jordan Love is a better name. I like it.
All you need is love.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good dog name too.
Bruce saying this will be the run for cornerbacks. It very well could be, Bruce.
That's fine. We're right there
in the run.
I am smart.
Debatable.
Are you giving up picks again, Tyler, for what you said that Jacksonville's going to do?
Yeah. I'm not telling you who it is or what it is, but I'm smart because I said what they did.
What did he say?
It's Mitchell.
I don't remember. Must not have been
He
that
said the Texas wide receiver.
Mitchell.
Mm-hmm.
I said they needed wide receiver. I didn't say Mitchell was the one that they would take.
Don't ruin my dream like this.
Stephen, with a Kool-Aid, we need an Everclear.
Yes.
Dang.
Now we're talking.
That's not what we refer to as football players being tanks.
Scott wondering Arnold or DeJean for the Packers.
Yes.
Close.
I mean,
DeJean's my number one corner.
No, I want Arnold. If Arnold's there, I want Arnold.
Arnold's so good.
Yeah.
And he's only 21. Like,
Dude, DeJean, he
DeJean's
returns
young, too.
kicks, he covers kicks, he plays safety, he plays corner, he tackles, and when he gets his hands on the ball, he goes to the end zone.
I'm not fighting with you at all. I want DeJean.
I'm
going to be happy with
I can see
either one
going the other way.
Just give me the back-to-back Iowa boys, and I'm chilling.
I'm happy with both.
I want the 3 Coopers.
That's fair.
Dude, I said that one day. I was like, have the Cooper
beating Andrew Cooper. That'd be sick.
the Cooper.
Yeah,
Cody,
actually,
I mean, Dallas is taking an offensive lineman.
If they walk
that guy
out,
looks like he's a drunk uncle.
Come on.
Bill's asking if Kool-Aid drops, do we take a flyer on him?
If he's somehow falls to 41,
well, at this point, you're looking at DeJean or Arnold.
Yeah, Bill, I'd have to say, like, if he's there at 41.
Yeah, if he falls to 41, yes, I would double up on corners.
Yeah, but
if you take DeJean here and you want to put him in that safety role and you want to trade up to the beginning of the second round and
then Kool-Aid plays your true corner.
Kool-Aid, yeah, absolutely.
I would do that too. I would also call Tampa if the Packers say take Cooper DeJean at 25. I would call Tampa, see what they want for 26, and draft Cooper DeJean and Terry Arnold back to back if remotely possible.
That'd be disgusting.
Or call Arizona.
Although Tampa might want DeJean to pair with Winfield.
No, they got to take TJ Tampa in the second round or something.
Yes, they do. That's a foregone conclusion. Steven Smith,
saying, real question: do we trade back into the first?
Yes.
I think it's developing to where we could.
Yes.
Is that the real Stephen A. Smith?
No, there's no A. That's just Steven Smith.
That's Stephen B. Smith.
Stephen, I would have said no walking into this draft, but with the way that the board is falling, it is possible.
They're gonna take that LSU guy, aren't they? That other LSU guy, wide receiver.
Jaguar selection.
6'4", big. That's what they're
Damn
gonna
it! You ruined my dream.
God damn it! I'm smart too. Called it.
If you told me coming in right now we would be in the position where we're guaranteed either Cooper DeJean or Terrion Arnold, I would be ecstatic.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And we're gonna take somebody else.
Edrin Cooper, come on down. But yeah, I 1,000%.
Oh man.
Like if we were in the spot of like pick your choice between Arnold or DeJean, round 1 is a win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get one of them because one of them's going to Dallas.
We should get at least one.
Do Dallas need secondary that much to where they're taking one?
No. They could maybe take DeJean to play safety if they want to go that way.
I could see them taking
Arnold.
They might take Mitchell because Jerry Jones loves his speed, and then Johnny Newton is still on the board to pair with Lawrence, and
so is Graham Barton, so is Tyler Guyton.
Well, and they did pick Mozzie Smith last year for their D line.
That's right.
I don't know. Cowboys feels like they got to go O-line. That line has just been so ripped apart the last couple of years. From
Aaron
and guys leaving.
Aaron's in here telling us picks.
I'm assuming he's I thought he was guessing.
Aaron, you guessing or are you telling?
I think
It's
he's
going to
guessing.
determine whether I like you or not.
About his takes, Guyton. They haven't even, the pick's not even in yet.
Yeah.
Got a crystal ball or what?
Yeah, the only
Yeah,
things
now,
I'm seeing on
Brian.
seeing on Twitter is NBA stuff.
I'm ready to be hurt again.
Mhm, that's our life. That's what we do.
Arnold, DeJean. I'd be
Yeah, I
okay
think
with
he's
Wiggins. I don't think it's going to happen.
Oh yeah,
Guyton.
Scott saying all I'm going to say is remember TJ Watt. I don't want to.
Who?
I don't want
I
to.
have no idea who that is.
That sounds like he doesn't have a bunch of siblings that play in the NFL.
But yeah, I mean, it's true though. Like,
Not gonna
watch
like
Green
any
Bay just ignore DeJean.
Kamikaze saying part of me wants a pure cornerback and the other part of me wants a Swiss Army knife in the secondary.
Yeah.
You can count me amongst the Carrington Valentine believers.
Yeah.
And that tilts me a little bit to like, let's get the Swiss Army knife because I really think Valentine can have a future at starting corner. Because I think what was it like? There was a stat a couple weeks ago. I might be a little bit off, but like in terms of corners and man coverage, allowing the smallest separation, he was like 4th in the NFL.
Did you guys see the Vegas like betting line was favored that we take offensive line?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In which case, at this point, what it's got to be like
Guyton.
It's got to be Barton, Guyton,
345.
Or if they really feel good, Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, although he's probably interior Green Bay, but Chad Reuter called him for Roger Rosengarten at 25 in his mock for NFL.com.
Oh, interesting.
Which would be very surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That'd be the Packer way.
Yeah.
Look at Dallas fan with a no Jerry Jones sign.
Ray saying if Dallas takes a cornerback, they're doing it out of spite for wild card game meeting we gave to them.
I mean, that still leaves us with Arnold or DeJean. Like kind of feels like it can't lose right now.
I agree.
To answer Joseph's question, would Goody dare trade down if Dallas takes an offensive tackle? No, I think it's more likely they trade into the first round again than it is that they trade back from 25.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What Andrew Brandt said earlier, at least I think it was him, was just so enlightening about how like teams do not trade back when they have options. They trade back when they don't have options.
Right.
That's like,
and right now there's lots of options. So
right. It just makes all sense in the world.
Or if the deal's too good to be like too good to pass up.
Yeah. If you're just getting outright.
Think about it. Buffalo could definitely, you don't want to trade down too far because Buffalo's probably taking cornerback. Detroit could probably.
No, Buffalo's taking wide receiver, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Buffalo's got to take a wide receiver.
Justin saying, so if we take DeJean's Swiss Army knife, do we cut Nixon next year?
No.
Depends on how
he just paid him.
Depends how it does with the new kickoff.
Well, I think Nixon's given that contract. I think he's got at least 2 years.
I think so.
I seriously hate that contract so much when we did
Me too.
it.
I agree. 100%.
I didn't like it.
And I was, these guys can tell you, he's an all-pro returner. He's only an all-pro returner because he returns things to the 23-yard line. He's hurting the team. It probably wasn't a net gain all year long. Like if you actually figure out all the return yards and what he had cost us from time to time, it's probably not that big of a difference. It's just he's the only guy in the NFL taking the ball in the end zone. Now we'll see what happens with the new kickoff, though.
See, here's the thing with
won't pay that much for a kickoff.
Average annual value is an average of $6 million. For a guy who's a serviceable corner, the guy that the Colts re-signed, I don't remember his name. He's getting paid 10.
Is that Julian
so
Blackman?
Nixon could just be an okay slot corner being paid 6. I'm not super mad at it.
Well, I mean, the guy in Indy was considered one of the best slot corners in the league. Nixon is like average to.
He's okay.
Below average.
Like bottom third. Yeah, like he's not the worst, but he's like on the back end of the half.
He's also, liable to get absolutely cooked in big moments. So,
but I mean,
anyone can do that.
Brian, he had the interception against the Chiefs, dude.
Yeah, dude, he made a couple plays when we needed it.
Yeah,
and
it's
he
definitely
entirely
missed a couple
possible.
plays when we needed it.
He had a big tackle against Dallas when we needed it too.
It's also entirely possible
negatives.
That Hafley signed off on it. And Hafley said, I see enough here I want to work with. Bring him back.
That's true. And having McKinney back there helps too.
Yep.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, because competent safety play will help every corner by a mile.
We are down to 20 seconds for the Cowboys to get their pick in.
Do you want to know what they're doing?
Oh, they traded.
They're trading out.
Oh, no.
For Detroit.
Oh, no.
I could see Detroit taking
Tyler's
Arnold.
anger in his face right now. It tells me they took Cooper Jean.
I don't know. No, it doesn't say who it is.
No.
It just says
I mean-
the Cowboys are trading out.
I could see Detroit doing either
Dude, that
one.
old man's gonna have a heart attack. Jesus, settle
They
down.
could do
Yeah,
corner or
We still
safety.
get either one. We still get one of them. We
Nobody
still get
say
one
it.
of them.
Nobody say it out there.
Now I know who it is.
It's not DeJean, so
All right. Lions pick is in.
I mean, Lions could go any number of ways, but
Yeah.
secondary.
Dallas,
they need
like
defense.
Dallas is like the team that can't beat the Packers. So they're like, we just need to get the Lions to be good enough so that they can destroy us on Thanksgiving,
So
but
we don't
then
have to
keep the
deal with
Packers out
them
of the
in
playoffs.
playoffs.
Well, and it does feel very much like Detroit because Detroit was at 29.
Right.
So like
Christopher
it does
said they
feel
picked
very-
Eminem.
oh wow, they got a third and
They
gave
gave
us
him a
7.
Oh, I was looking at it backwards. I was like, they did 7? But
Yeah, they gave a
Come on.
7th
Come on.
and they got a third.
What'd they get?
I'm trying to find the.
it's going to be Terry on
I'm sorry, that was from Dallas's side. Dallas gave
Okay, so they're
a
Lions.
7th.
Why
They
do
got
look
a
like wolf
third.
in the background.
That's
It does
Oh,
look like a wolf.
It's a lion, but
It looks like a wolf.
It does kind
it's
of
too
look like a
zoomed in to tell that it's a lion face. But with the wider nose, you can tell it's a lion, but it's super zoomed in.
I didn't know they got Carlton
Detroit.
Davis.
Come on. Oh yeah, and they got Carlton Davis too.
I forgot about that.
They
Yeah.
lost C.J. Gardner Johnson.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
that's
moved up
true.
to Philly.
And then
Which, well, and they still have
Compensation.
what? They still have Kirby Joseph.
Yep. And Melifonwu.
F
I
that
think.
guy, by the way. I hate that guy.
Yeah,
Which one?
Kirby. I don't like Kirby Joseph. He's dirty.
I don't know if I'm allowed to drop F bombs on here, but I won't do it if you don't want me to.
You know what? I actually saw a message earlier today that said that they really appreciate that we're clean. So
Okay. Well,
My
I
apologies.
apologize
I'm
if I.
fired.
All right.
I'm not scolding
Right.
anyone. I'm just saying.
Well,
I'm very much. I have a mouth on me.
yeah, those
Trying to
those,
get
those
myself
people, the person that sent you that, they wouldn't like our show. We get a little crazy sometimes.
No, I get it.
I'm
All
a
right,
saint.
hurry up.
Do I have to watch one more person in a lion shirt scream?
Yes.
Oh,
Well, and of course they're going to milk this because they're in Detroit.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they're going to do the same thing in Green Bay.
Oh my! Let's do a drone show. Let's do a drone
My
show.
mute is up.
They. Better.
Oh yeah, and what? We guessed about 10 o'clock for Green Bay. Now it's 10:02. We're on
so
the pick
Terry
before.
Arnold is wiping a tear off his face under his sunglasses. He is definitely a Detroit Lion.
Not gonna lie, I really hate that.
They're all.
I don't know for sure, but I'm just assuming
If you
from
look
that.
in their
Yeah.
sunglasses, they're never scrolling or doing anything. They're just staring at their phone.
Barry Banders.
No one say nothing. Damn it!
I'm still trying to find the compensation.
For Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I just
gave a
feel like-
7th round pick and they got a third.
Mhm.
Okay. I feel like no matter what Detroit does here, they're gonna get better. And I hate that.
Yes, I
They're
agree.
drafting Arnold. I'm
God,
pretty
the
sure.
Lions are so much better at trading on draft day than the Vikings are.
I will just say this: the rivalry that the Lions have created with the Packers in the last year is what the Bears fans think that they have with us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
I remember beginning of last season, it was all, well, there's a new king of the north with Justin Fields. Look at how that happened.
MVP
Oh,
Justin Fields.
We're gonna take the North and never give it back.
Right.
Oh.
Oh, and now
I will
they're
say
rolling
though,
up.
I think
Why do you have to have
For the love of God.
the NFC North could be like pretty competitive next year. I think.
Yeah, Vikings are gonna have a tough time in the basement.
Yeah.
I think the
They're gonna
Bears
fight with the Bears.
well, and the Bears will show flashes, like they'll have great games and then they'll fall off.
The
And
Bears are gonna win the exact same amount of games as they won last year.
I mean the division's gonna come down to Detroit.
Is this like a touch football thing? I'm not. Or like flag football, I meant,
Yep,
not
flag
touch.
football.
I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay,
Like football, yeah.
my bad. I meant flag
And
football.
Ah.
a little tag of football.
I feel like they did that last year for the host city, that they brought up flag football.
Yeah, they did. It
Yeah.
was in Kansas City, right?
That's because they're trying to
Yeah.
promote it.
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
because
give
the
a
NFL now has
shizney.
sanctioned it.
Right, yeah, they have their own flag football, so they got to roll them out, whatever
Yeah,
city they're in.
Oh my god! Roll them out in the 7th round. I'm not watching that one.
or where there's 5
I think that's probably the NFL thinking too.
God, could you guys imagine being from Michigan? Unlucky.
I am from Michigan.
I'm from Michigan.
Kamikaze, don't you spoil it.
Terry and Arnold.
Yeah.
Okay.
He
Lions.
wiped a tear. I knew it. That was his telltale.
Yeah.
Put this off. Tyler
Okay.
Space kills it.
All right, Cooper DeJean, baby.
Let's do it.
It's
Oh,
not
man,
gonna
I'm
happen.
so
Give
nervous.
it to me.
Come
Give
on,
it to me.
Goody.
Hoot!
Come on.
Hoot!
I
Don't
will
do
mute my
this.
computer, but I'm turning my TV up when they announce our pick.
I'm gonna continue to refresh Twitter, and I will also shut my camera off and mute myself
All right.
Thank you.
if I find out what it is.
All right.
Yeah,
Goldie,
'cause you have the
Golfing
worst
Team.
poker face in the world.
Come on, dude.
You don't even need to let any time go on the clock.
That's a good
Just-
pick for the Lions, though.
Put your pick
Like,
in.
real good.
Come on.
Make it happen.
It's
Come on,
annoying.
dude.
That's the problem.
Like Gary says.
Gonna steal, but we need our
I
guy.
wish they would just make the picks.
Yup, it takes forever.
Peter
This
saying DeJean or DeJean.
The best part is they're probably going to about to cut the commercial.
Well, it's in
Every
Detroit,
year.
so they don't want Packers
Yep.
to have the
All
one,
right.
right?
If the Packers were not to take DeJean here, and they stayed at this pick, who would you want them to pick?
I don't want anybody else.
Okay, that's not what I asked, Jake.
Maybe
Don't ask
maybe Guyton. I know it's not great. Or Barton. I would take Barton over Guyton.
Thank you. I agree.
Guys, after just seeing that, I don't want anybody else.
I can entertain Johnny Newton.
Yeah.
I could.
I think
could
he's
entertain-
him and Guyton are probably the only other players that I would want, other than Cooper.
Yeah. Nobody spoil this.
Or
Yeah,
I'll just
trade
sit
back.
this is a warning to all of you.
I'm gonna mooch you so fast.
No spoilers.
All right, I trade back and take Barton. Okay, no taking calls. Get the pick up there. Jagavi, is it possible to take a linebacker? It's possible, but in my personal opinion, it would feel like a big reach.
I would be very surprised if they took a linebacker with the talent
is in
that's
for the
left on the
Packers.
board.
Pick is in.
The pick is
Oh, come on, baby.
That's a sick graphic.
Give me it.
Thank you.
I like
Come
that.
on. For the love of
Give me
God, let's get to it.
Give me it.
Oh man, people are dropping like flies.
Yeah, I was like,
Looking at stuff. Come on.
I won't spoil, I promise.
We got Christopher saying, grab one, trade into 27, pick the other.
Bruce, don't even entertain it.
Okay.
Come on. Who thought we'd be in this position and able to take G? I mean, it's been looking like a real possibility as of late, but
Jake's raising his hand.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm more surprised by some of the other guys falling than DeJean being there.
I'm way more surprised Arnold was nabbed at
Yeah,
at
same.
24.
Yeah, I'm
than
surprised.
he could be at 25 or wherever.
Cody's saying, we don't care about come up stories. We have 30 to 40 for that.
You do that stuff after he retires. It's
Exactly.
about moving on. Man, I agree, Cody. This is nonsense. We're wasting time.
Are they still showing Lions fans yelling?
Yes. Yep. And then Arnold's still being interviewed.
Yeah, on NFL Network.
Oh,
Come
good
on.
God,
Come on. Jagavi,
They
we
really
want
Yeah.
positive vibes. Jagavi.
Happy thoughts.
Okay, that's a lie because last year I wanted LVN. So, and there was once upon a time I wanted HaHa Clinton Dix. So,
I was ecstatic when we picked him.
I
same.
remember, like the two that like I was clamoring for and actually happened, like distinctly in my head was haha and then Eddie Lacy.
Yeah.
It was like, holy
Oh,
crap, they
dude.
actually did it.
I was like the number one Eddie Lacy fan. I was like, dude, he's the best running back in the NFL. I bought like 3 jerseys. Like, dude.
Man.
Loved Eddie Lacy. And then he's just like, yeah, dude.
Did you buy
really
one
wanna
of
keep
each
up
size of his jerseys?
Huh? What'd you say?
I said, did you buy one of each sides of his jerseys?
No. Jake, that's got nothing to do with you. It was to show Eddie Lacy's changes. That's
I
all.
know what you're saying, but damn, bro, chill.
Come on.
You asked where I was earlier.
Like 3 different
This
people.
is
all right.
I'm bringing it
So
out.
realistically,
True.
like since we have time, like who are the candidates, right? Cooper DeJean, for sure.
Guyton.
Guyton is definitely a candidate. Maybe Barton if they're willing to go IOL. Wiggins is still there, but that would be shocking.
The
at least
green
in
and
my
yellow
opinion.
lights are on.
And then Johnny Newton. Our Kool-Aid's still there. Jordan Morgan, but again, that's probably IOL. So pick is in.
Yeah,
Green and yellow lights are on. They're
Nobody spoil it. You're ahead. Nobody spoil it.
Kamikaze saying ABC knows that everyone will stop watching TV once the Packers select.
Yeah. Come on.
With the selfie stick? I didn't realize they still sold those.
They've been doing it for every player. They like walk over to their fan base and they do like a little I'm part of the
I mean, that's all right.
It's cute. I'd like it better if I saw Cooper DeJean doing that with the Packer fans right now.
Come on.
For the love of everything that is holy, please hurry.
I mean, do we see anyone else that they could go with?
I was looking at just like, I mean, this is based off my opinion. That's like the only 3 guys I think might be
like
here.
Barton, DeJean, or Guyton. Like that's, I mean, maybe Johnny Newton. Like
I was gonna say Johnny Newton, or if they really, really like Jordan Morgan, I think he might be their pick. But this is all like I'm trying to project off of their board more than mine.
To me, Morgan falls in the same camp as Graham Barton. He's probably
I agree.
IOL.
Here we go.
Yep.
Goodell's
All
going
right.
near the podium.
All right.
Here we
Flash
go.
the pick is in graphic.
I'll let you guys react first.
We don't get our reactions that way.
Come on, Goodell.
Jordan Morgan.
Yes. Okay. So
Nicely done, Simon and John. John, you said it at one point too.
Volume here.
I don't hate it. I think
the thing.
So
I'm not surprised either.
I spent a bunch of picks, mock drafts picking Graham Barton, and this is essentially just West Coast Graham Barton.
They must value Matt. They have to value Matt tackle here. That's the only thing that makes sense to me.
I don't think that's
or
true.
They value his versatility.
I think that's more true.
People will freak out because they didn't see him mocked much in the first round.
Okay.
I wrote an article like a month and a half ago that this could be an NFL record of tackles taken in the first round with 9. That the NFL record was 7. So it's this is my thing. So yes, it's not the pick that the fan base is going to say that they wanted, but here's the thing: Jordan Morgan is the responsible pick. It's not the more fun pick, but it's the responsible pick.
I will defend it from the standpoint of, like I said at the very beginning, what I didn't want was a redshirt tackle that's not going to play. Morgan will play because at worst they're going to kick him into the interior. So I mean, he at least meets that qualification.
This at worst it gives Sean Ryan competition at right guard. At a best scenario, you can use him at right tackle, move Zach Tom to center, and it makes your O-line insane.
Ryan, we can't always be picking in the top 8 like 6 you guys are doing, picking wide receivers and.
Yeah, I agree with what Tyler said. That's a responsible pick.
Yeah, we need offensive line depth. We got it.
Yeah.
As far as people saying they'd rather have Barton, Morgan and Barton, they're very, very similar.
Like I said,
well,
I seen Cooper DeJean mocked too many times to where I thought that was going to happen. So it stings a little bit, but
I mean, realistically, because Morgan is IOL from the standpoint of guard, like he projects predominantly as a guard who maybe could fall into tackle, whereas Barton was truly like a put him at any one of the 5 even if you don't want to put him at tackle.
Yeah, you got to
Like
do
we
you
said,
trust, man.
we don't have to like it or have them be flashy, but Goot has proved us wrong.
Tyler, how many conversations have we had about the GMs in our state? How many times do we have to tell people, listen, these people live and breathe their sport, okay? They have studied these players for hundreds and hundreds of hours. I am not going to sit here and act like I know more than them. I wanted Cooper DeJean basically because I fell in love with him in the draft process. Jordan Morgan could turn into an all-pro, and he probably will because we push out all-pro linemen like nobody else. He'll probably turn out to be a monster.
I'm going to do the math real quick on this.
So I've got Dane Brugler, the writer for The Athletic. I've got his beast up. And I'll read you verbatim what he's got in the summary here about Morgan. A 4-year starter at Arizona, Morgan was a constant at left tackle and offensive coordinator Brennan Carroll's zone-based scheme. Carroll's the son of Pete Carroll. After Arizona won a combined 5 games during his first 3 seasons on campus, Morgan helped lead the program's turnaround in 2023. A quick-footed blocker, Morgan displays range and aggression in the run game and gets on top of rushers quickly in his jump sets when he uses well-timed hands. His struggles in pass pro come when he is over-aggressive with his kick slide and gets too far up the arc, which can create a two-way go for rushers and open the door for inside counters. Overall, Morgan struggles to anchor mid-slide versus power, but he is a balanced mover who is well-schooled and physical in all phases. Though he can survive at tackle in the NFL, his skill set projects much better inside at guard, similar to Matthew Bergeron. He was Brugler's number 2 ranked guard.
Saying it's a bad pick and stuff, we don't know that. If he ends up being our starting right guard for the next 7 years, that pick is worth it. 100 times out of 100.
I want to look at Barton strictly versus Morgan if we're talking about offensive linemen that can play tackle or potentially guard. So my notes, I had written in that Jordan Morgan is a good puller. So that's an interesting thing. You know, we're talking about protecting Jordan Love, but the other factor is this, like, what about trying to keep our running back healthy by giving him bigger lanes?
Yep.
And giving him more chances to get yards before contact and not having him just run into defensive linemen for 3 quarters and then hoping that in the 4th quarter he breaks one loose.
Michael, I think if Tom is moving, he's not going to guard. He's going to center. It's either tackle or center, in my opinion, for him. And there's still a lot of really good centers on the board here. So this isn't over by any stretch of the imagination.
I also don't think that we should be quick to judge where any of these players end up on this offensive line this year. I think Jenkins is probably the only one that's like solidified his position at the left guard going into this season.
Yep. So the last thing I want to say on Barton versus Morgan. So Graham Barton, really good, only allowed a 3.6% pressure rate. Jordan Morgan allowed a 2.9% pressure rate. So it's extremely low. That's insanely low.
Yeah. And I know people are thinking, we could have got Morgan at 41. That's because, like us, we looked at 100 mock drafts, right? For me, I was thinking if we were going to go Jordan Morgan, we probably trade to 33 and hope if we think he can fall there. But I think they got to a point where maybe Detroit did snipe from us. Maybe they got Tyrion on our own. Green Bay's like, okay, move on to our next person. But Green Bay's not scared to trade down if they don't think this is a first round value. So the one thing you can say is they have that grade on him. So
we know what the Packers do with a lineman.
Yeah,
Packers still need a QB. Okay.
Well, and I've said this before too. Packers are about to give $50 million per year to Jordan Love. 45.
That was trolling.
Yeah, that's Ryan Garcia. That's one of our.
Yeah, we know Ryan. He's trolling.
And they just gave a lot of money to a running back too. So you got to build up that offensive line if you're going to use all these offensive weapons, right?
So there went Graham Barton. So we'll be able to do this thing. We'll be able to do this thing where we kind of did we didn't win this one, but Creed Humphrey and Myers. We'll kind of be able to compare these two against each other here. So.
Joseph, just to answer your question quick, his arms measured at the combine is 32 7/8. So like right on the tackle cutoff.
What did grams that measure at?
Huh?
You know what grams measured at?
Barton?
Yeah.
I can look it up quick. He was an eighth shorter than that. Like Morgan and he were very, very close.
Okay.
And they were both like right on the border between where Green Bay's absolute cutoff is.
Joseph, to answer your question, what would it cost to move from 41 back into the end of the first? It would probably cost them 41, 88, and depending on how high they want to go, something else later. 41 and 88 could maybe get them to 31 or 32. And then if you want to go anywhere besides there, you're looking at adding like 5th or 6th or 7th rounders to move up.
Did Dallas trade back up to 29, or did they already have that pick?
They traded
the pick they got from the Lions.
Detroit.
Oh, Detroit, duh. Jesus.
It's really interesting because I was almost certain that DeJean was going to go in the teens.
I mean, Simon, you said it too. You said Jordan Morgan here. You know what I mean? Like,
Simon called it.
If he turns out to be a several-year starter for us, the pick is worth it. So none of us actually know anything at this point.
That's also why I hate I'm not dogging on anyone here. I don't like the term reach, because if a player if a GM values a player at a certain area in the draft and it ends up working out with them, it's not a reach.
Yeah.
It's like Jahmyr Gibbs last year. Like he looks like an all-pro running back. You'd take that every time out of every time in the first round.
Good pick for the Cardinals.
I mean, yes and no, because a lot of it just has to do with positional value.
Right, but you don't know what each GM values. And that's kind of where I'm looking
yes
at it.
And no.
All right, so I'm saying, I guess, more like for the average fan, I'm not talking about like a guy that's going in mock drafts in the 7th round getting picked in the first. Like, obviously, that's a little, extreme, but I'm talking like we're talking the difference of where I've seen, the average fan calling out this would be a reach based because they've seen him go in the 40s. Like, you don't know that is where like our GM and the rest of the GMs see that player as, if that makes sense.
Yeah. If you're saying that a player is a reach because PFF constantly mocked him in the 4th and you grabbed him in the 2nd.
And that's what most people's rationale is when they use the term reach.
I think that there is, on the other side of the coin, though, an argument to be had for understanding positional values, where they historically fall in the draft, and say whether you needed to spend the premium capital you did on that position, right? So, like, my consideration here is, like I said at the very top, I was fine with the tackle if they could march right in and start at right guard. Then you at least got something, right?
Yep.
And that's probably what Morgan
is. That's why I
like
Martin.
But I also say that with the understanding of, realistically, in most offensive formations, right guard is probably the least important of the 5 spots on the line. And you probably could have achieved a similar baseline of performance a little bit later in the draft, as we've historically seen for the right guard position.
Okay, that angle, I see what you're saying.
I want to say, I can't remember who was saying it, but I think it was that like Jordan Morgan hits all our thresholds for tackle, aside from like just the barely missing on the arm length or something like that.
In terms of like his size and like athletic thresholds,
I do like Rasheed
He's
Walker.
huge.
Yes,
I can look that up real quick.
The big gripe with Morgan that I've read most often has been that he can pull, certainly, but it has a lot to do with his slide. Just like Brugler noted, that like teams project him inside because he can pull, he can absorb. But the question is, do you want him doing lateral slides like tackles are asked to do? Probably not, because that's been shown as a weakness of his. So project him inside.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on board with you, John. I out of the two, I would have thought Barton there, but we'll see. They've shown good, like, that they know what they're doing too. So I trust them. Let it play out. I'm not going to fly off the handle. We need offensive line. We drafted one that they think they drafted one they think is going to succeed. So
Darius here again, high school.
Can I say something as we talk about the 2025 draft next year, and even as we go into tomorrow? I think as fans and even as podcasters, I think we need to have a serious outlook of where we're seeing guys go, and we need to have a bigger grace period, especially for the guys in the top of the draft. So where people are seeing, oh, Jordan Morgan, he was projected to go somewhere from 28 to 40. Why are the Packers taking him at 25? I think when we see these guys going in these areas, we need to say, like, okay, they could go 10 picks earlier or 10 picks later than just the general, where people are thinking they're going to go. Because we say it on, I know I can speak for this on Wisco Fanatics. When we talk about these and we do mock drafts, we say none of this is going to go how we think it is.
Think about it tonight. Michael
Penix
Penix Jr. went
first
8.
round so far.
Yeah, Michael Penix Jr. went 8. No one thought he was going there. Terrion Arnold fell to 24. No one thought he was dropping that far. So if we were thinking Jordan Morgan was somewhere between 30 and I would say a lot of time, I've seen a lot between 33 and like 40 the last few weeks. I mean, that's not that much different than that.
Kansas City takes a wide receiver here, no?
I would imagine so.
Rasheed Rice insurance.
Well, they traded up into Buffalo's spot. It's surprising Buffalo's not taking one.
Maybe Buffalo's okay with multiple, and if Buffalo's okay with a wide receiver or a corner.
Ryan saying Chiefs about to draft an attorney for Rice.
He needs one. No, I don't know. I think Morgan is realistically a very safe pick who does align with a lot of what they want.
Responsible. Yeah. That's the word
I use. I think that's it's fine. It's just it is realistically not the way I would have gone because I would feel very much like I can get that same guy 40 picks from now, or at least close.
Bleacher Report gave the Packers Jordan Morgan pick an A+.
Oh yeah, so you can't trust anyone who ever goes on Bleacher Report.
Grades.
Yeah, okay, John.
They're just a bunch of podcasters who just get hired. There's a bunch of dudes living in their grandma's basement. You can't trust any of them.
And then they become multiple sources, and it's just a whole thing.
By the way, to self-plug, I'll be on Bleacher Report tomorrow at 11 a.m. They hired me to do a recap of day one, so see you there, exclusive in the Bleacher Report app. Damn it.
Ryan asked who we're going to take with the 32nd pick of the 2025 draft.
I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. I don't know, but it'll be nice to get Xavier McKinney a ring. I'll tell you that much, right?
Kamikaze Walter Rouse. He's been fairly linked to the Packers a bunch, predominantly more so day 3 than like night 2. But yeah, I mean, you're talking mid rounds. It's possible, depending on whether they truly consider Morgan a tackle or not, which we'll find out shortly when the front office heads to the mic.
There are some comments. Did DeJean test?
DeJean did test.
Yeah, he did. He did his pro day.
His own pro day.
Yeah, he's fast.
Basically had his own pro day.
Here. I think the Chiefs could go. Didn't they lose their one cornerback?
They traded him.
They traded him.
They could realistically go DeJean here.
They could.
So, just to clarify, because I see it still being talked about, DeJean did all of the drills except for agility, and he basically just did so at his own pro day because he wasn't healthy enough for his school's pro day or the combine. And the Packers did have reps there. We know that.
Yep.
I agree, Ryan. Grades are it's hard to really trust grades at a lot of times because we see, this is trash, or everyone trash the Packers, and still for the next 2 years for Jordan Love.
On the pick for Jordan Love, wasn't it?
That's what I'm saying. Everyone trashes for 2 years. That's paying out pretty well for us right now.
Dude, grades are subjective, so I don't agree with them.
Yeah.
There's
no way of knowing.
Yeah. If Gutekunst took Morgan thinking he's going to be, maybe he's a safe, high floor type of guy. But like I've said, 3 times, if he starts for us at guard or even tackle, we're going to learn a lot tomorrow because if they're going to take a guard, if they take another guard or interior lineman, someone that's for sure, you're talking like Christian Haynes or a Cooper Beebe tomorrow, that probably means that they're looking at Morgan to be a tackle. So we'll kind of learn tomorrow. And Gutekunst, I'm sure, is going to talk tonight or in the morning before the 2nd and 3rd round, like always, and he'll probably give us an indication what they kind of think where he can fit in.
Man, if they take a guard tomorrow, man, the offensive line is going to be stacked.
And I'm totally okay with that.
Yeah, that's – Jake, where are the games won?
On the front, the line of scrimmage. Sorry, I'm into this. Yeah, no, they're one at the line of scrimmage. I've talked about that millions of times, dude. You have to build the line of scrimmage. You don't stop the run unless you tackle them, and you don't run the ball unless you block them, right?
Wait, what?
Kamikaze saying Goot has to be thinking Morgan will be a tackle since he's picked at 25. The only thing that I would say is, like, we know Goot values premium positions in round one. He always has, and he's very, very open about that in his pressers too. I have wondered out loud, as guard contracts have gone up dramatically in the last 2 years, and there's a lot of premium guards now making 17 to 19 million a year.
Yep.
Is guard quickly becoming considered a premium position?
Shit,
I
John
brought
Runyon
that up,
Jr. got
few
two
shows
shows.
ago.
John Runyon Jr.
Alfred J got $10 million. So if that's part of an evolution from Green Bay's front office, that all of a sudden all O-line except center is now premium, then we could see a changing of the guard, because that is quite a bit different than the NFL culture has been for about 10 years.
Yeah.
I think that also has to do with D tackles contracts also going up as well. Like, you're getting these premium guys on the defensive line, on the interior. You also want to stack your interior offensive line as well to match up with those guys.
Yeah.
So like John Runyon Jr., like you said, that was a guy that got benched last year. He was benched and he earned $10 million. He played well towards the end. He was playing better than Ryan, I think, towards the end of the season. But we were worthy.
Well, and his 2 years prior were dramatically better than his opening season of last year.
Yeah, true.
So I think that was part of his contract.
Stadium worthy for the Chiefs. They get their
that's
speed.
not shocking at all.
Yeah. So.
Next Tyreek Hill right there.
Yep.
So I think, I don't know, like the Morgan pick, you're getting a hyper athletic 22-year-old offensive lineman who we've yet to find out if he's going to be playing interior or tackle. Someone who the Packers obviously feel is going to fit very, very well in their scheme. And Brugler talked about that too, that he's very adept in a zone blocking scheme, etc. Like, that should match well with the Packers' RPO style offense.
Dude, how happy do you think this guy is right now? Getting drafted to Patrick Mahomes, probably instantly being the number 2 wide receiver at worst to the Super Bowl champions.
Bro, 165 pounds. He better run a 4.240. Jesus.
Michael, I was talking about this before. For the Packers to try to move up into the last bit of this first round, it would probably cost 41 and 88.
Bro,
You're looking at a second and third pick.
So also, like, don't look now, but Cooper DeJean's falling.
Yeah.
It's the dream's not dead, guys.
I could see Dallas, Joseph. I could see Dallas doing Barton or Guyton. Either one could make sense for Dallas.
Wiggins is
Barton
still
got
there
picked.
too.
Is gone.
Where did Barton go?
Barton went to the Bucks.
Right after.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I missed that. All right. My bad.
It's interesting because, like, looking at the top of the second round, you're looking at Carolina, New England, Arizona, Washington, Chargers, Titans, Panthers, Washington, and 41 with the Packers.
Dallas takes Leggett here or what?
I think Washington might not be a bad spot for him either. They need secondary help bad.
But I mean, you look at Carolina has 2 picks in there. Carolina, maybe, but you know, if they believe that J.C. Horn can be healthy, New England has Christian Gonzalez, Arizona, maybe, and then Washington has 2 picks, and then the Chargers and the Titans, who just traded for L'Jarius Sneed.
Oh yeah, I forgot the Chiefs to have Marquise Brown too. That's a lot of speed.
I would just looked at that because I didn't know that was a thing. I don't remember that.
Taking time off from the video games, trying to win a ring, you know?
Yeah. Who cares about Cousins Camp? Get over it, dude. You're making $100 million a year. You're not entitled to anything.
I'm willing to bet it's because he knows his 4-year contract just became a 2-year contract.
Yeah. Take your $100 million and laugh to the bank.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be mad.
That dude's made like $300-something million in his career now.
Kamikaze saying, it doesn't seem that other teams value Swiss Army knives like the Packers do. So maybe DeJean falls to 41.
Well, I think what we're possibly seeing on that note is, like, Goot was asked about DeJean the other day and said he could play safety or corner. I think he might have just given his answers to what he actually values him as, which is safety.
Yeah.
And for a safety to be picked in round 1 in Green Bay would be a slight anomaly. Like, they stepped out of it with Darnell Savage, but historically they really don't do that often. And Like
Think about
league-wide,
what safety
safety has
we've
been
taken in the first
severely
round.
devalued.
Yeah. And think of what we've taken in the first round for safety. Ha Clinton Dix. Yuck. Darnell Savage.
He wasn't that bad. Ha had some good years.
He wasn't that good.
But even
He
back
was
then,
okay.
safety was getting paid a lot more than they are now.
Tyler
That
Guyton
makes sense.
to the Cowboys.
Yep. All right.
Good call.
That's a good pick for them.
So
Yeah, that's a good pick for them.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling the Packers are looking at DeJean as a safety, which then allows them to say, like, we don't pick safeties in round 1 very often unless we have to.
So do you think us going Jordan Morgan and not someone like Tyler Guyton or Mary Sims, who we talked about, is pretty set in right tackle, signals they're probably keeping Tom on the outside?
He has to hug that guy wearing a 49ers hat.
Yeah, I mean, because like in terms of Morgan, it's going to be super interesting to see what they classify him as.
I had Tyler
care.
Guyton penned into the Cowboys for like a month.
Yeah.
I just think no matter what's said tomorrow or the speculation is, we're not really going to know a whole lot until we get to training camp and we see where
through the rest of the draft.
The rest of the draft. What Stenovich wants to do with this offensive line. I think we just have a lot of versatile guys where we're able to kind of tinker with it and actually get our 5 best on the field.
Aaron asks, how do I get in the show?
My total guess.
We can't fit more screens on here.
my total guess is in year 1, like Morgan goes to right guard, and then in year 2 they kick Tom inside, and Morgan then goes to tackle.
Yeah, that's very possible for sure.
Like,
Who do you guys think Ravens go here?
I wanted to go back to I think it was Dragavi that said, "Would you rather have Cooper DeJean this year or Travis Hunter next year?"
I don't really pay attention to college ball that much, to be honest with you.
Travis Hunter is
freaking stud.
I know who he is.
It's a really
a top 10 pick, probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want Travis Hunter next year because I feel like we would have to have a very bad season.
Yeah, he's gonna be
to get Travis Hunter. So,
Aaron said, "I'll be happy if the Packers get Hicks." When we did our mock draft last Friday, we picked him in a bunch of drafts.
Yeah, he absolutely killed the back for the last couple of years.
There's a lot of day 2 safeties I really like.
Yeah,
I like Bullard.
Adrian Taylor Demerson.
Yeah,
I like Bullard. I want Bullard tomorrow.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked at all if the Packers love Bullard.
Look, we're in a really good position. We added something on our offensive line. There's a lot of talent on the board tomorrow.
That's what I was saying.
4 picks.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's still some guys left.
And another possible justification is that the Packers were looking at it and going, all right, we want a safety and we want an offensive lineman within our first few picks. Offensive line, we love Morgan. We have a first-round grade on him. And really no one else that's as versatile as him besides Graham Barton.
Yeah.
At safety, if we're looking for someone who's more like a box safety, we have, or like just safety at all, we have DeJean, we have Hicks, we have Bishop, we have DDT. Like, maybe they were looking at it from a number standpoint and going, offensive line is more valuable than safety.
Yeah,
we feel better about the numbers at safety than we do O-line right now for someone who can go inside, outside on the line.
Yeah.
Go with that.
There could definitely be a lot of safeties they value right around the same position where they they see a drop off after Jordan Morgan or, last couple guys are like, okay, I see a drop off of potential tackle type talents until the later rounds.
Yep.
I like Sainristil a lot.
I'd rather have Cole Bishop.
Simon and I were in agreement on Sainristil. If he was 3 inches taller, he'd be the best corner in this draft.
Yeah. Who's that?
Mike Sainristil from Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
If he wasn't 5'9", he'd be the
really
best corner in this draft. If he was 6'1", best corner in the draft.
Taylor, to answer your question about Newman, I would be shocked.
Dude, why do they set this up like that? They just hold. Maybe it's a fake, but they just showed the Ravens' entire freaking draft board.
They did that last year too.
Yep,
they did it with the Cowboys, I think.
Yeah.
Yep. I say that just Taylor because I know he was battling an injury, but his testing was awful, and that probably made him slide down their board by a bunch.
I'm not gonna lie, I would still like Newman.
Oh, okay. Dragavi wasn't talking about Travis Hunter. He was talking about Hunter Wohler.
I have no idea who that is.
It's from
Hunter Wohler will also be a monster, but we're not drafting him until next year. So
That's what he said. He said Hunter in 2025 as in Hunter Wool or not Travis Hunter.
I would draft Hunter Wooler. He's a dog. Straight up dog.
Nate Wiggins, okay.
He's a safety for the Badgers, by the way, Simon.
Oh, okay.
He can cover. He's a good tackler. He's just a good player.
He's smart against the run too.
Yeah,
he's a bunch of tackles for a loss behind the.
That's a good point too. So maybe if he could, that could be Jordan Morgan if he doesn't have that injury and he plays 2 years at left tackle. He could be talking about a pick that people would have valued in the top 15, 20 picks too. And maybe he just he seemed to play well and he could play even better this next year, the second year removed from an injury.
Well, and in terms of that injury, like I'm looking at it right now, he missed final 2 games of 2022 with that injury and then came back for the start of 2023.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, I mean,
he wasn't fully 100% healed when he started either, probably. He was
or wasn't a severe tear
removed from that. So,
and Baltimore just got a bunch of trash talk for their defense.
I love Nate Wiggins.
Yeah.
I think he's the best actual cover corner in this class.
Dude, pairing him with that safety that they got, that's
Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton.
God, their secondary is going to talk a lot of shit.
Something else interesting about Jordan Morgan is even though he's projected as interior, 100% of his collegiate snaps came at tackle. He has never played guard in game.
I think I only saw left tackle.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Zach Tom was projected as, I'm pretty sure, as an interior. Didn't we think all of us think he was going to move interior too?
I think that was kind of the consensus.
I think
he's going to be interior.
This is out of the realm of normalcy for the
Packers were very forward about liking him on the interior too.
Yep.
But I think Zach Tom was kicked out more so out of necessity than looking at him and going, "That's a tackle."
Yeah, and then just proved he belonged.
Right, and then they just said, "Okay, you can stay."
Steve saying, not trying to throw shade, but is it possible the league looks at Cooper DeJean as an Eric Weddle clone?
Maybe, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
Eric Weddle.
Eric Weddle was a pretty solid safety for a long time.
If he can go beard, I'm with it.
In the vein of talking less, he can play both versus teams are just viewing him as a safety.
Yeah.
And that's probably devaluing him. Or they're just looking at him as though, even with the athletic traits, they're thinking it's safe,
solid, but not a first round.
I don't know.
Yes, Justin, our secondary talks a lot of smack. And yes, if they had drafted Nate Wiggins, it would have been even worse.
Dude, he talks all of the shit. He talks all of the shit.
So much attitude.
Those are my favorite players. I like players that talk, man, because I'm a talker as well. That's why I'm not going to play anybody that comments on here. I'm mad at because I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings.
I don't think you could hurt my feelings.
I don't have any left to give.
That's because you're actually an AI robot, Simon.
That's fair.
The military kills you inside.
Yeah, I've met plenty of military people, and you guys are sick. There's something wrong with you. They do something.
What's your favorite flavor of crayons?
Wrong branch.
That's Marines. That's the Marines.
Yeah, wrong branch.
Yeah.
Well, I saw someone earlier watch DeJean go to the Niners.
That would be about right.
It's very possible.
Yeah, because what's his name? That other safety got hurt last year.
Afunga.
Afunga. Thank you.
Yep. But I mean, I also could see Frisco going wide receiver and then moving on.
I could also see San Francisco trading their pick to us here.
They need a freaking insurance left tackle because Trent Williams doesn't get any younger.
Yeah.
There's some interesting wide receivers left on the board.
Mm-hmm.
Lad McConkey, Keon Coleman,
Troy Franklin,
some guys.
Keon Coleman fits in with them.
Johnny Newton's still sitting there. That'd be disgusting.
That'd be a good pick for them because they lost Armstead.
Michael's asking, where does Johnny Newton go? Kool-Aid still available too, possibly at 41?
Yeah, that's a good point, Michael. Because we've talked about that. We like Kool-Aid as well. And now you're getting into where if you fall into the second round here, it's not going to cost us a third round. It's not going to cost us a third round. It'll pick to move up from 41 to 33. Not likely anyway. It could maybe.
Jalen Polk.
Wait, what?
Jalen Polk from Washington.
Tyler, what's the value difference between 41 and 33/34? What are you looking like at that?
You're looking at about 40. So
Maybe our second, third.
They could do 41 and 91 for say 33 or 34 and like a 7th.
Okay.
All right, so we can catch up on some comments here.
Yep.
So I'm saying I get that, but DeJean to me is the more valuable prospect compared to Morgan.
I mean, I'm inclined to agree. I understand. I understand the rationale behind Morgan, but like in a list them from like prospect rankings 1 to 100, yeah, I would have had DeJean in front of Morgan.
Yeah, same.
Right.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. It's just, maybe they, like we kind of talked about, maybe they like the depth at that position more than they liked what they seen left at tackle/interior line. And, there's a lot of talent left on the board in the second round. We're about to go into this thing with a lot of ammunition tomorrow.
Yeah, and plenty of ammunition to move if they want.
Yeah.
Kamikaze saying for wide receiver, I'd be happy with Flournoy in the late rounds and call it a day.
The only thing with like a late round receiver, to some extent, is like a late round receiver. If you pick one round 6, they're going to have to come in and beat out Bo Melton or Malik Heath or Grant Dubose or whatever. It almost feels like to an extent.
Yeah.
If a wide receiver is going to make the team, they got to be relatively early in the draft.
Yeah. I don't think we draft a wide receiver in this draft unless it's someone that falls to us and we can't believe they're still there, and that they had a lot of high value on.
On that note, I really like Flournoy. I think he would be good.
Yeah.
As like a 7th round lottery ticket. Jesus.
If we're talking like super late round wide receivers, a guy that I would maybe keep an eye on is Devontae Walker.
Good one.
Yeah.
What about David White from Western Carolina?
Also, when I was at the Senior Bowl, the Packers scouts, they were liking Brendan Rice.
Yep. Jalen Coker is another good one.
Ricky Pearsall. Do you think they're trading Brandon Ayuk here, or is this just
or
Debo?
Pearsall?
See, this is where everyone would say this is a reach too. Like I'm sure their fans are like, "Who is this dude?" Like, you know what I mean? Because there's a few people on the board ahead of him. So, interesting.
Claudia, can you put Greg Schultz's comment on? He didn't get beat time after time. The pressure rate that he allowed in 477 pass blocks, he allowed, I think it was
17.9%. I'm pretty sure you said.
I said it was 2.9%. I wanted to know the exact numbers. He didn't get beat time after time.
He had
477 pass blocks. He allowed 14 pressures, 11 hurries, 1 hit, and 2 sacks. 2 sacks is hardly time after time. And 477
Morgan is an extremely Packer O-lineman.
Yes.
Like with Graham Barton, you constantly read profiles about how he was mean.
Ricky Pearsall, damn.
Did you see that catch?
Oh yeah, that's
whoa. The one hand to the knockout.
Yeah, how do you hold on to that ball there?
Not the one hand to the knockout. Oh my god.
Trade. Who do they trade?
That was filth.
But I mean, Morgan is a very
Carolina.
He's
traded up one.
Probably the fifth. This is where you see them do this for the 5th round option.
Jagavi said Mertz got him to the 1st round. Hell yeah, he did.
Carolina kicks up to 32.
DK next.
Buffalo's accumulating a few picks, huh?
Yeah, they need them.
So what was the trade?
I'm sure they dropped down to 33. They just haven't updated the graphic for the 2nd round. They do that a lot.
Oh, they dropped down to 33. I'm sorry. You're right.
So they drop down to 33 and they go from 6 to 5 to do it.
Carolina probably just valued the 1st round, the 5th year option a little more.
Yep.
Who do you think Carolina goes to? This is interesting.
I mean, that's a really good deal for Buffalo, honestly, to move back 1 spot and then to move up 59 spots.
Yeah.
If there was no threat of Carolina taking their guy, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and like 3 guys that you like to move down 1 spot.
Yeah, and I think the value there. I think the value there is that 5th year option is what they probably pitched it to him, which is why Carolina's probably like, okay, you can move up that many spots or whatever,
Well, and 33 is so insanely valuable because now every team is going to go home tonight, think about who they still want, and like 33 always gets a premium trade if the team wants it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like that a lot for Buffalo, honestly.
Bro, Mel Kiper's hair is the same. It's just moving back a couple inches every couple of years. It's the same hairdo.
You
Dude,
think
here's what's
Carolina
gonna
could
happen.
pair like J.C. Horn with Kool-Aid McKinstry here?
Here's the thing. Is that Mel Kiper, one of these years, his hairline's just going to jump from here all the way back up to the front, and that's how you're going to know he got like 4 hymns.
Hair transplant.
Dude, he should wear the LeBron James headband one year. That'd be hilarious.
He's got that Aaron Jones hairline, bro.
The problem is his widow peak is
Like
so
Chris
deep
Middleton
that
hairline.
you'd have the hairline and then you'd still have the widow's peak behind it.
Dude looks like Vegeta.
He does, dude.
I appreciate that, Michael. That just really goes to show, though, how much of this is all just guessing. It's all just guessing. And I had this conversation with somebody today that for us, speaking from the Wisco Fanatics side, we get more out of the draft of knowing more about the players by like having researched them and like knowing what their strengths and weaknesses and things like that are, more so than trying to get picks right. We get more out of knowing the information of the players than we do from if we had gotten all 32 first-round picks right.
That's
like,
why you can
it's
see
more valuable to us to know who all these players are, and then they're dispersing out into the league, so it helps us know the league better.
Yeah,
that's really what all of the draft prep that we do is for. It's not for us posting the mock drafts and having people like them or hate them, which there's plenty of that out there. It's really more about knowing more about the NFL as a whole, so that when we get into the 2024 season and we talk about all these players and we talk about all these teams, we know more about them to make us more knowledgeable about the NFL as a whole going forward.
Yeah, and there's a reason you see like when Detroit got Terrion Arnold, you could see the frustration on our face because we know we're gonna have to play that dude, and we've kind of looked at like, yeah, of course, you know,
we loved him.
Everyone's looked at him, but we like talk about him on our show and stuff. And he might have been me and Simon had him number 1, and I think Jake and Tyler had him like 1 or.
No, I had him 3rd.
I had him.
Third. Either way, we had him pretty high on our boards. You know what I mean? Like, so we know that him going to Detroit is like, okay, that's someone we're probably going to have to deal with. And never, you know. Well, Detroit's been, I'm telling you right now, they've been, the last couple of years, they've been crushing it. So it's good competition, but iron sharpens iron. So it's good for us. I feel very comfortable about our team to go up against them.
Cyrus has a great idea. I love Cyrus's idea. And we'll work it with Joseph's idea.
I'm down.
Trade up to 34, get Cooper DeJean. I'm with it.
All right, here is the last pick of day 1.
You hear all those nice reasons they gave about caring about the draft?
Right.
Just get them clicks, y'all. That's it.
Yep.
Interesting.
All that.
Xavier Legette.
Oh,
Bryce
interesting.
Young was totally well protected last year.
Packers had him in for a top 30 visit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was one of the last revealed ones too.
Yep. There was another one that got revealed earlier today. I didn't catch it. They were like, this guy had a top 30 visit.
Really? Oh, I didn't see one today.
It was like it happened already, and it just got revealed that he visited 7 teams. I forget who it was though.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't see
Gordon Morgan via Zoom said, I'll play anywhere they put me. I just want to play and win for this team.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it real quick.
All right, guys, going into tomorrow, if you could pick 3 players we leave tomorrow with that realistically, right, where they might go, who would be your 3 players tomorrow?
Like our top 3 Packers that we want?
Yeah, like who, if we draft 3 people tomorrow, who would you love to see? I can go first. You know, I would love to see Jaden Hicks. I would love to see like a Cooper Beebe or Christian Haynes, and then probably Edgerrin Cooper would be my. And I know DeJean Cooper or whatever. Why am I having trouble with names today?
There, bud.
Cooper is on the freaking board. I'm talking if we don't trade up or anything. I'm sorry, I've been sick all week, so like all the names we've studied and stuff have escaped my brain all of a sudden.
Just all melding together.
Jesus.
I will say I would not be shocked if Buffalo is actually thinking DeJean.
Yeah.
Micah Hyde's a free agent, and they just got rid of Poyer.
Yeah,
that's why when I said earlier they could definitely take cornerback. So
I got rid of Tre'Davious White too.
Yeah,
they did.
Connor, thank you for the kind words and for hopping in. We are going to be live during tomorrow as well. And if you want to hear more from Jon and Claudia, they're going to be live on Saturday too.
Whew. Yeah, we're here all the way through.
Every pick of the draft, we'll be here.
Kamikaze, to answer your question, yes, it is for Groot anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who else do you guys have in mind for your top 3 tomorrow?
I want to look at the draft board. I just want to
Okay, I can throw out some names.
Justin's got 2 of mine. Cooper and Powers Johnson.
Okay, I like that.
That would be good.
I mean, Johnny Newton's still sitting out there.
Yep, that's one of mine.
If we want to double dip on O-line, Kingsley Sumatea is still out there.
Yeah, he's a stud, dude.
I'd be okay with that also.
I like Chris Jenkins a lot.
I like Chris Jenkins.
I mean, like my 3 would be Cooper, DeJean.
Yep.
Then probably Johnny Newton, and then Marshawn Nealand.
I was just gonna mention him too. I like Marshawn Nealand a lot.
Another name haven't mentioned yet. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah.
Yep. Good call on that one. Yeah.
Maybe Peyton Wilson.
Peyton Wilson be interesting.
And then last one, Christian Haynes.
Yeah.
I suck. There's like 12 players I'm looking at.
Yeah. So you guys, I think we're all consensus. Like if we had our shot at either Cooper DeJean or Kool-Aid, we'd probably all say Cooper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
Yeah.
Cody, Lombardi Time Brews is his main go-to.
YouTube, we live stream on YouTube, Facebook, and then we also have pre-recorded shows that go out on both of those platforms, as well as Spotify and most other places you can find podcasts.
Yep. And generally we do like 2 pre-recorded, maybe 3 pre-recorded episodes a week, and then we go live once a week, and then we go live for every game as well.
Dang, you're working, son.
Yeah.
Cody's
Gotta get them clicks.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Yeah, I wish I had more time.
If you want to get some clicks, go and just make a rage video about the Jordan Morgan pick.
I'll be I'll be the least happy person in the water park tomorrow. Because I want to be watching the draft and spending the time with you guys, but family. So.
And we'll give one plug. I'm probably contractually obligated or something. Bleacher Report tomorrow, 11 a.m. in the Bleacher Report app, exclusive. You'll see just me in front of my piano desk here talking about what happened tonight. And then also looking ahead to tomorrow, looking at the board, talking about what the chances are the Packers trade up, what it would take to trade up. I don't know. I'll be there for like 20 minutes. They pay me much. And then I'll also be doing a Q&A for Bleacher Report tomorrow as well. And then maybe on later in the weekend as well. They've left that a little up in the air. So
nice.
But yeah, Bleacher Report exclusive tomorrow. And then for sure, Jake, Tyler, us, Brian, Simon. I don't know if you guys are going to be here tomorrow night.
Simon.
Brian, you said no.
I'll be
Simon.
I will be. All right. So,
You'll be the man with the angry face in Thief River Falls, Minnesota tomorrow if you happen to be there.
Yeah. So we'll all be around tomorrow, and then on Saturday it'll be just the 2 of us going all the way through. So, but thanks everybody for being here. Thank you very much.
And don't forget to return the favor and follow, like, subscribe, do all the things on Facebook and YouTube for Wisco Fanatics.
Yeah.
Build one happy community. Like and subscribe to all of it.
Yes.
For both channels.
All the links are down in the description, so you have no excuse.
That's right.
Justin, find them too. Justin, if you're looking for more Packers fans, all of us.
We also cover Bucks and Brewers and Badgers. So if you want more on that, we're live on Wednesdays.
Yeah, they're like, we don't have enough time. We cover one team.
I'm busy watching the games.
I just want to point out Gary's comment. This has been one of the best interventions I've ever been to.
Top 40 interventions.
It's a good way to end it.
Top 40 for sure.
Yeah. So, all right. I do believe it's time to sign off, unless anybody's got anything else.
Nope, go Pack go, and a lot of things will come into picture tomorrow. It'll shape a lot of what our vision. So go Pack go.
Indeed. All right, thanks everybody for joining us. Thanks for being here tonight. Come back tomorrow night, or else you're dead to us. So have a great night. Hope you enjoyed tonight. And as always, go Pack, go.